and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, cupcakes, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, David Martin. Welcome back, Dave.
Just use my full name like that. What the fuck? Yeah, welcome back.
Yes,
Both of us.
Yeah, we were both on a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah,
traveling.
We both enjoyed the our Indigenous Peoples Day.
Was that
was
last week?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it was a holiday.
Yeah.
So we took full advantage.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I worked that day.
It was a Monday.
Yeah, well, I adjusted my schedule because I was traveling at the end of the week, so I had to take less time off.
So you worked on Indigenous Peoples Day?
Yeah.
How could you?
Because it's not a holiday that my company pays for.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
You can only do what you can do.
Mm-hmm. So are we completely done with Columbus Day? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I just enjoy saying Indigenous Peoples Day.
Okay, fair enough.
Whatever makes them happy.
Yeah, not that I give a shit either way. I mean, especially now that I don't even get a day off. It's like, what the fuck, man? So, but that's that.
I love that in the chat already. Somebody needs to have some stress relief and is going to go find some cyclists to run over. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
We do not condone the murder of cyclists here on the Sidebar Cantina.
Such a thing as it's not murdering if you just run them over. No guarantee they're going to die.
Okay, well, vehicular assault of any kind we do not encourage here on the Sidebar Cantina, but you do you, listeners. So speaking of the show, what are we talking about today, Dave?
Well, a couple weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
since it seems like old news.
Pretty much, yeah.
But the Ahsoka finale happened.
That's right.
That's right. So where's the drop for that one? No.
I hope you don't have that.
My girlfriend sucked 37 dick.
Oh man. No, we don't have that one. And yeah, what was I saying?
We were talking about Ahsoka.
Oh yeah.
The Ahsoka finale, specifically, part 8.
It was a couple weeks ago, and we're going to talk about it today.
That's right. Because, again, we had to take last week off and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I think this gives us, or gave me, more time to absorb it.
Right.
Because my immediate reaction to the finale was different from the second time I saw it, which is slightly different from the third time I saw it. So
that's good, because I know that for at least the first time you saw it was not as positive.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how you landed ultimately.
Yeah, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole point of the show.
yes, but
is to land
eventually.
He's so smooth.
Oh, with the soundboard.
I love it. I love it so much.
Well, we got some business to attend to first. So should we talk about Patreon first?
You, sir, talk about Patreon.
All right, I will.
Jason's gonna talk about Patreon. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Oh my God. If you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and help make it possible for us to continue to bring you quality content week after week. We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Chantal from Pop My Culture, Don Solsky, Scott and Kim from the Used and Abused podcast, Frank Kalevich, Wally Frogmore, Tina Land, Carly Vickers, Dragon Buddy, Nick from Sweet Studios, Steve Long, Kristen Roscom, Janine Vickers, Shotgun Mark, Sterling Azier, Lord Helmet Fire. Are you trying to interrupt?
I'll wait till you're done.
All right.
Because you already blew by it.
All right. Frederick Martin, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, The Orange and Fett Show, Ivo G, David Schmuck, Catherine Rennick, and our newest patron, Helen Martin. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
And one of our Patreon supporters has a birthday today.
Oh?
And that would be one Janine Vickers.
Oh, shit. Well, happy birthday, Janine.
Yes. Happy birthday to you. Hopefully you're listening.
Yes.
And hopefully that's not a huge state secret that we're giving away.
Right.
But guess what? Ha-ha!
Congratulations. You've been doxxed.
Ha-ha! Yes. Well, we're not saying which day it is, right? Did we say what day that we're broadcasting?
No, not at all.
So, I mean, I guess it'd be easy to find out with YouTube. So don't do everyone's investigating for them. Let them figure it the fuck out. All right, gotcha.
Pretty much.
I see what you're doing there.
All right, we got any sidebar headlines?
Yeah, of course we do. This just in. I'm Tom Brokaw, and I've got a new drop, and I love it. Sidebar headlines: Grave Reviews is finally coming back. After a lengthy hiatus, Alan is returning all fresh and shiny with a new co-host you already know, Dragon Buddy.
Oh, okay.
Alan and DB will be reviewing the most obscure B-horror movies on the planet.
Nice.
And letting you know if you should press play or stay away. I'm drunk Tom Brokaw. Subscribe to Grave Reviews on YouTube and join their live chat next Thursday, October 26th. Hey, that's my birthday. Oh shit, that was very specific. Damn it! That's just in. That is definitely not Dave's birthday that day. Thursday, October 26th at 19:30, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to give them a follow on the socials for updates. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Is that it?
This is my favorite thing ever.
You all done there, Tom?
Yeah. I'm going to go freshen up.
All right. Well, that being said, we ready to get into our weeks?
Yes.
All right. So as I mentioned last week,
Oh, Billy.
I went to California last week to visit my family, mostly to see my mother and take her to a Beach Boys concert.
Yes.
So there was a little bit of drama that happened.
Oh, boy.
Right before I went out because, we were supposed to see the Beach Boys in Bakersfield. I
Right.
bought the tickets and everything. And I don't know, it was Monday or Tuesday last week. I got an email from the ticket vendor saying, yeah, the concert's canceled. You're going to get a refund soon.
Shut up.
And we're like, what the fuck? No reason given, by the way. My mom theorizes that it was due to low ticket sales.
Really?
Yeah. So, which is strange. I kind of assumed that they'd be able to fill at least that little amphitheater in Bakersfield, but I guess not. But again, they didn't officially say why. So I texted my mom. Apparently she cried when she found that out. She was very upset. Because, she's been looking forward to this. She had shirts specially made for us.
I saw those.
Yeah. And so I'm like, fuck. But later on that night, she texts me and she says, hey, they're playing in Fresno the night before. So because the concert was supposed to be last Friday. So she's like, on Thursday, they're playing in Fresno. I'm like, oh, really? So did some looking, and sure enough, they were playing in Fresno at the Fresno County Fair.
Okay.
And as far as we knew, the show was still on. So I'm like, all right, fuck. Bought tickets for that. And booked a hotel near Fresno, because Fresno's about an hour and a half from Bakersfield.
Okay.
So it's not that far, but far enough to where it's like, yeah, if we're going to a concert that starts at 7, probably don't want to drive back late after that. We'll just get a hotel in the area. So we got this. There's an Indian casino that's pretty close to there.
Okay.
So, and she wanted to go. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll book a room at the Indian casino, and we'll fucking go there. We'll gamble. We'll go see the Beach Boys. We'll go to the Fresno County Fair. It'll be a whole big thing. So, and that's what it turned into. We did this whole massive thing. We got to see the Beach Boys. We had fun at the fair, had some great fair food. She got a fried turkey leg, but only ate half of it. So guess who ate the other half? Oh, by the way, I was told by like 5 people last week that I was fat. So
nice.
Thanks to my family for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was all done out of love, but
Of course.
Either way, they all made comments or stared at my big belly. So
Whatever. That's okay. I spent all last week getting made fun of for being fat too. So
really
join the club. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, with your golf buddies. Gotcha. But yeah, so we did that. We went to the fair and saw the Beach Boys. So they let people in like an hour early to sit down before the concert started. And we sat down, and at first there was like, I don't know, 20 people sitting down. within the first 20 minutes of them letting people in to sit. I'm like, oh God, this is going to get very awkward if there's only like 50 people here.
There's 15 of us going, hooray, the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
But they can actually hear you singing along with the lyrics
Uh-huh.
poorly.
But within the next half hour, the place fucking exploded and damn near every seat was filled.
Nice.
In the stadium. And this had to have been like at least 500 people.
Okay.
So yeah, it was decent. And the demographic was quite up there in age, as you would expect.
Yeah.
I was probably one of the younger people in the audience.
Yeah, that coincides with the experience we had. Was it last year or the year before when we saw him in Atlantic City?
I feel like you said it was last year.
Yeah, and it was at the convention center in Wildwood, and it was the same. We were in the younger half of that demographic.
Yeah.
Or younger fucking third of that demographic, probably.
Yeah, but I tell you what, all those older folks, they were super excited to be there. A bunch of people were standing up dancing, my mom included. You know, she was having the time of her life. They played, obviously, all of their old hits. A couple of songs I didn't recognize, and my mom got on to me about that. But overall, it was a great experience. It was only Mike Love and Bruce Johnston from the original lineup that are still touring.
Same guys. Same guys that we saw in Atlantic City. So that's cool.
But I tell you what, some of these replacement players that they got were really good, especially the drummer. This guy who was their drummer on this current tour is fucking incredible. Like, he's playing like, you're thinking he's fucking, what's his name from the Foo Fighters? When
Dave Grohl?
Yeah, Dave Grohl, when he's doing the fucking Queens of the Stone Age song, he's just fucking going crazy. This guy's doing that. He's like twirling his fucking drumsticks and playing and singing. Like, so we were so impressed by this guy that we Googled him after the concert. And apparently he was some just like social media sensation that was discovered like 2 years ago.
No shit.
Yeah, and now he's touring with the Beach Boys.
Huh.
Yeah, fucking crazy. But they did a good job of replacing, you know, obviously the original members and stuff with people who could sing and play and everything. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's I don't know if you had the same experience I did, but it's like it took a little bit in the beginning to kind of like the sound is a little bit different just because Mike Love's obviously older.
Yes.
And he's not getting there like with the voice that he was. But once the lyrics are coming out and you just start singing and it's just like now you're just into the vibe. More than anything. And it just turns into just a fun evening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. I'm so glad you ended up, even regardless of the cancellation, we're able to do it.
Yeah. So we adjusted, and it ended up being better than it probably would have if we had just seen them in Bakersfield. So yeah, great time. Got to spend some good quality time with my mom, which I don't get much anymore these days. So
that's good.
It was nice. It was a nice little treat. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, everything went according to plan. No bumps in the road after that first cancellation. So that's good. And I got to meet my brother's girlfriend. He's got a new girlfriend, and I don't know what the hell she's doing with him, because this girl is actually like...
Is he out kicking his coverage?
He is, very much so. I mean, good for him, shit. But, yeah.
Well, don't give away his secret, because
right.
She might wake up.
Yeah, if she catches on, then she'll be like,
wait a minute.
I'm way better than this guy.
They're not even buying it. The fuck?
Of course, while I was going down there, I had mentioned leading up to this vacation that I was looking forward to playing my Steam Deck on the plane, and it went exactly as I'd hoped. Like, I've never had a 5-hour flight go by so fast in my life. It was fucking beautiful. You know, there was actually a point because I had a layover going down in Dallas, and I was like at a point in one of my games where they're like, okay, we're starting our descent into Dallas. I'm like, no, I got to finish.
Wow.
So
battery life and everything was...
Yeah, well, I bought like some extra battery packs too. So between the battery life of the Steam Deck itself and the battery packs, good to go. And most flights now have power outlets.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as you're not on one of those little dinky planes that I was on going from Bakersfield to Phoenix, coming home. But got to do what you got to do. But yeah, Steam Deck worked exactly as advertised. So it was great.
You should be a Steam Deck ambassador.
I would love to be. You know what? I really would love to be. Valve, call me.
Yeah, right? And give him a free one. And also me, because I made the recommendation. So, and I would benefit greatly from having one.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, yes, do it.
Do it.
and you will do it.
We'll do it.
Okay.
I meant to cut it off right there.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Just do it.
All right. Kind of made sense.
Kind of.
And the last thing that I have, obviously, is more additions to...
The sacred Jedi. The sacred Jedi.
I hit the wrong button.
Of course you did.
Because the Black Series is closer to you. So
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I suppose. Now, just so you know, all these boxes here are not Black Series figures. These are all Kristen's Christmas and birthday presents. I have been a good husband this year and been buying presents early.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I know. I'm a new man. I'm a new man, Dave.
It's good. That's really good.
So let's start off. I have to really get my pre-orders in line here because apparently I pre-ordered the same figure 3 times. 2 of them were on purpose, but one of them I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I pre-ordered 2 of these? So as you know, over here I've got Darth Malgus from the Old Republic.
Yes.
I got him a while back. That was one of my pre-orders, and I know I had pre-ordered another one through Hasbro Pulse. Apparently I pre-ordered 2 of them. So
you're going to get an Amalgus to open?
oh, yeah. So, yeah, I got my 2 Darth Malguses, but I already have one over here on the shelf, so I'm going to open one, obviously. And now there's really no reason for me to have 2 open ones, so what I think I'm going to do is maybe we can just give one away at some point here on the show.
Oh, there you go. People like that.
Because, yeah, for some reason, I, again, can't keep track of my pre-orders, and there's so many more coming down the pike, too. Last time we did this, I was talking about wanting to get all of the Christmas Black Series figures to open to put them on display, and I decided, well, I might as well finish the Halloween too, because last year they had the Halloween Wookiee and the Halloween Trooper. I already have 2 copies of the Halloween Trooper somehow. I think Kristen bought them both for me for Christmas, and now I bought an extra one of the Halloween Wookiee, which I will also open. So there's only 2. There's only 2 of the Halloween figures, I think. What? Did you forget about them?
I forgot completely that was a thing.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Let me see that. Give me.
Yeah.
give
The
me-
Halloween Trooper is a lot better. In fact, let me grab that.
This is. It's Chewbacca in London, and his hair was perfect. Like, how did I not know this was a thing?
You did at one point because we talked about him on the show.
Oh my god!
But then there's also the Halloween Clone Trooper. This is one I already
Was I
had.
drinking?
But yeah, that's the other Halloween
Whoops.
figure.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
God, why don't I remember this? He's holding a dead porg.
I mean, you've forgotten things mid-sentence, so...
Facts.
you
That
know,
is big facts.
We're talking something that's a year old at this point. Wow. And I have one other thing that I pre-ordered. I knew this was coming. I pre-ordered it months and months ago, and it finally came.
It finally came.
I got a case. This is the first case
Oh, yes.
that I've pre-ordered, and I'll show you what came in it.
That's what she said.
First, a Crayola.
Hey, Crayola.
Reach up there with your staff, hurrah! So we got the Imperial Royal Guard from the Return of the Jedi series, with the Return of the Jedi Kenner packaging.
Fucking awesome.
Yep, to add to the wall of Jedi over
The
there.
sacred Jedi.
Yep.
Just in case you didn't know.
Yep. We got Luke in his black Jedi outfit with the
Yep.
green lightsaber.
With his tunic just slightly ripped open.
Yep.
Because he's cool like that.
Indeed. Stand up, fucker. All right. No, we won't show you yet. We've got an R2-D2, also from Return of the Jedi.
Wow, look at that guy.
Yeah, but there's no. Oh, and he comes with all of the fucking attachments and shit.
Shut up.
Because if you remember the R2 from Return of the Jedi in the 80s, in 83, that figure had the antenna that popped up, and I feel like there was like a lightsaber hilt that you could swap in. I don't remember, but
Look, if anyone, I know for me as a kid, that periscope was used as a lightsaber hilt.
okay,
Like,
maybe that's what it was.
that's just what it turned into.
Yeah, I think
Like,
maybe
I don't
that's
know
what
if
I
it
did
was
too.
meant to be that, but that's what I did.
Right.
Because it certainly wasn't as detailed as this. Wow, man, look at that.
Now, something I realized too when I got this R2 is I don't have a C3PO. And as of right now, they don't have a C3PO in the Return of the Jedi packaging, so I'm going to have to get one from the Empire packaging, I think. But I can't have an R2 without a C3PO. That's just not right.
All right, well, what about the Vader? Do you get the Vader?
Well, indeed I did, because the case came with 2 copies
Shut up.
of the Vader.
Oh
So
my god, that Vader's awesome.
I have one to, you want to take it?
Yeah.
One to open, one to display, because this is the Vader from the End of Jedi, where he's got the hand that comes off and the mask that comes off to reveal old what was it, Sebastian Shaw?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
Jason Archive C3PO $9.99 at Ollie's.
Oh shit.
That's what it says.
Oh, I will get on that right away. Thank you, GeForce. Yeah. It's good shit, man.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm the guy. I'm the real guy. Don't forget about me. I'm the real guy.
So as of right now, I have every one of the Return of the Jedi throwbacks that has been released. And I don't think they have any more scheduled. Like this, I think this is it. So if it is, then great. I got them all. And then I'll eventually start getting the Empire and New Hope ones too.
Yeah. So I remember a couple weeks ago when we were talking about with the TIE pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So they have.
Yeah, they have that guy. Where the fuck did he go?
They
up top right there.
They don't have. Well, so for Jedi, it came in the carbonized version.
Yes.
Of that.
Yes.
Which. Yeah.
Not a fan?
No, because it's not a. I mean, I guess if I was being a completionist, then yeah, but I'm not. That's not really.
It's not your bag, baby.
No, I mean, I'm into the TIE fighter, like in the TIE pilot experience, not the just having all the TIE pilots.
Right.
Saying that, I have all the TIE pilots. So at some point, it's still too expensive to try and buy it in the set because they want too much money for both. So at some point, I'm going to have to fucking wait. I mean, hopefully that somebody either sells it separately or
we can go half season. I'll take the Crayola and I'll open him.
Crayola's carbonized too.
Yeah,
maybe.
Just a thought.
That's a thought. That's a thought. We'll consider that.
But that's it. I mean, I know it's been 2 weeks, so lots happened. I'm not going to talk about football today. Very sad.
No, we're not going to talk about football today.
But yeah, that's the highlights of the last 2 weeks for me. The big one obviously being the California trip.
Yeah,
it was
obviously.
Great.
Well, for me, we kind of alluded to it before. I went to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, your annual golf trip.
Had my golf trip. I did not win this year.
Mm.
I played. I didn't play the worst I've ever played. I also didn't play great.
Yeah.
Tried to make a run at it at the end and just kind of just ran out of gas. It was a great week though. The fucking weather was perfect. Just
good.
It was picture perfect all fucking week.
Yeah, California was great too, by the way. It was like sunny and 80
the
whole time.
It was like in the mid 70s down there, like just clear blue skies the whole fucking time.
Nice.
It was just, you couldn't ask for better weather. It was a good time, and it was nice to unplug from work for a time.
Yeah.
I needed it, and still I need more of it because god damn it, I went back to work today. I was like, motherfuckers.
Was today your first day back?
It was my first day back.
Oh, okay. So you took like all of last week off, huh?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
When'd you get back from the golf trip?
Like Thursday.
Okay.
So, you need a vacation from the vacation. It's
I hear
especially
that.
because of the fucking drive.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Oh, you had to drive.
I drove, which it's good and it's bad, right? It was good because I had the trophy, right? And I think I talked about it before. We got this like giant Pelican case for the trophy. It's like rolling around with a Stanley Cup.
Right.
So I didn't have to worry about putting that on an airplane and paying extra for it. So by driving, we have that. And I'm not, usually if all of us were flying, we would, in the past, we'd put in for a rental car and we just split it. So that's no extra added cost there because, I just drove and they pitched in some gas money.
Sure.
So that wasn't a big deal for that. And then, you know, my sister, both my sisters live down there. I didn't realize that one sister lived so far away from the other. I would have planned it better. But on the way back, apparently my one sister, she got fucking bit by her cat, right? And it got infected like really bad, like surgery bad.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So I was able.
This is why cats are the worst.
Yeah, man, you little fucking bastards. So yeah, she had to she had to have her fucking finger opened up, like her hand open up like all through here, down into there. Yeah, because like they have to go in there and they have to like, oh god, it's the worst. Yeah. So yeah, 10 out of 10 do not recommend. But I was able to stop in and see them, see her on the way back because she had just gotten out of the hospital. So that's the benefit of driving. I can stop there. But next year I'm fucking flying. Like that fucking drive is brutal. It's on the way down. I got fucking stuck in Richmond for like an extra hour and a half, and on the way back, the traffic wasn't as bad, but just everything was slow. Yeah. And then you end up driving into the night, and then it like at night everyone now is going even slower, and it's just was fucking brutal. So I didn't get home until like well after midnight. So Kathy was already in bed, the dog's in bed, like it's just like now I'm just like, okay. And then just being in a car for fucking 12 hours it ends up being. It just fucking sucks. I could be on an airplane for fucking 90 minutes. Yeah. And be done with it. So, yeah, I'm flying next year. Yeah. I don't have the trophy to worry about.
I forgot one little detail you're talking about the rental car reminded me of it. If we can just go back to my week really quick. So I got a rental car when I got down to Bakersfield. I got a great rate through my work. And I was just supposed to get a small sedan because I knew it was only going to be me and my mom in the car. And I'm checking in, and the lady at the counter is like, "Can I put you in a new Mustang?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I was in like a 2022 fucking hot red Mustang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you manage to not get pulled over?
I did not get pulled over.
Very good.
My mother had the same concerns, and I'm like, look, you still have to break the law to get pulled over, right? They don't just see a red car and be like, I'm pulling him over. You know, you still have to be doing something wrong.
No, they definitely target red Mustangs.
I don't know. See, to me, that kind of almost sounds like an old wives' tale at this point.
No, it's 100% true.
All right. No.
It's 100. Like, come from a cop kid. I can tell you that it's 100% true.
Well,
for coming from a cop's kid who also drove a red Mustang.
Gotcha.
I know this to be fact.
All right.
Because red sports cars tend to go over the speed limit.
Yeah.
So, not that they're going to pull them over arbitrarily. Yes, you still have to be exceeding the speed limit. However, if I have my radar gun down and I happen to be eating my donut at that moment and I see a red sports car, I'm going to take a break from my donut and shoot that one as opposed to the white minivan that's going by. That's just what's going to happen.
All right. I guess I'll take your word for it.
That's how it works, Jason. Trust me.
All right. But I
never
I never got pulled over, and I did exceed the speed limit a time or two. This car did something really fucking weird that I guess some new cars have done. I had never seen this before. It's kind of in the evening, and I'm going out to get like my backpack out of it to bring it into my dad's house. And when I I unlock the car, I walk up and I look down, and on the pavement is a fucking picture of a Mustang. I'm like, what the fuck? Did somebody just paint a Mustang on the ground here? And then I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I realized it was a light coming down on both sides of the car. When you unlock it or when you're doing anything, it shines this Mustang shape on the ground on both sides. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just a little extra.
Yeah.
Just a little extra thing.
Yeah, it was fucking cool.
Yeah. My old Escape had something like that.
Oh,
it
yeah?
was a Ford emblem.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had the titanium edition. It fucking
okay.
it broadcasted something out like that. It's
Nice.
Like, yeah, it's fine. You get over it quickly, but yeah, it's
Sure,
definitely
sure.
it's a nice little fucking add-on, especially for the Mustang.
Yeah,
'cause
when I
you get
wasn't
the
ex-
pony emblem on it.
Yeah, exactly. And when I wasn't expecting it, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, back to you.
Yeah. So
You finished your golf trip.
I did. I finished the golf trip, and I'm going to fly next time because fuck that drive.
Mm-hmm.
I got back and was in recovery and realized that fuck, this is the last weekend I have before I fucking start school again.
Oh,
So
right.
I had a bunch of shit that I wanted to get done over the summer that I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those things was like building some shelves. Like, so if I'm sitting at my desk, there's like the wall space that's behind me. Like if you've watched the show on YouTube and I kind of have like, there's a map behind me and there's like a pile of stuff. Well, on that wall behind me, I wanted to have like some bookshelves. And
For like display stuff?
yeah, it's for display only. And it's like there's a 6-inch wide ledge that goes around like my basement there, my family room. And so I was like, oh, if I could build shelves off of that, that was the plan. I had everything drawn out. It's in my book. And so finally I was like, you know what? Saturday it was fucking raining. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it today. Just fuck it. Because I was completely unmotivated to do anything else. I was like, God, my ass was dragging around. I fucking felt like shit. Like, I'm just going to fucking do it. And I did. I banged it out. If you go to our Discord channel, it's on the, I think I posted some pictures under the restoration station for just banging up some shelves. I still have to stain them and stuff.
Yeah.
Kathy had some last minute input to what color she thinks that I should be staining and painting that. So that obviously be having to take under advisement. But
I like how you're very diplomatic about that.
oh, very. But yeah, I'm so stoked because now I had books that were put away that I've been wanting to, I wanted to have displayed, like the sacred text,
Yes.
which I took the drop away for this amazing drop because I really love it. But yeah, so I have some Legos displayed and some other stuff, and I'm super happy with it. But that also meant that a lot of I had so much other shit on the wall that had to come down and get put away. So it was kind of like it's playing Tetris of managing like wall space.
Right.
Because I don't know. It's just like this, right?
Yeah, kind of like when we redesign in here.
It is. It's like, okay, we only have so much wall space, and we're going to, like, all right, well, this would go there, and this would go here, and I want to look at this. Because this is the stuff, like, I think what sometimes our significant others, not just us, but just significant others in general that aren't necessarily into the same hobbies that you might be into. I'm speaking for everyone here.
Right.
They don't realize that we can just sit here and look at this
Oh, yeah.
and be content.
Yeah.
And just be like, I like this. I like looking at this. The presence of this makes me content and happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And for some, that is just dumbfounding. Because all they just see is something that collects dust.
Right.
And it is a weird, I don't know how those people can live in that world where they don't, well, I can understand because some things are just, some people just look at something and say like, that's just a toy or whatever, and they don't have the emotion attached to it.
Yeah.
But those of us that have these things, we have them so that we can just sit down and enjoy it and look at it. Like, I have a map on the wall with a bunch of pins in it from all the places I've been. And yeah, I absolutely look at it. Every once in a while, I'll just take a look at it because, like, fucking hell, it's a reminder of all those fucking places.
Yeah.
And that'll always be a part of my history that you don't want to see that go. So yeah, absolutely. So I built some shelves.
All right.
And saying that, school, I did get access to my fucking shit for school, so I ended up doing some reading and stuff.
Oh boy.
What's terrifying is there was no book for this semester.
Okay.
My professor for this semester for human physiology is the course writer. So she is basically like all the reading and stuff is built into the courseware.
Okay.
So it's good and it's bad. It's good because I didn't have to pay $150 for a book.
Yeah.
It's bad because she wrote the fucking course. So like anything that you submit is going to be to this like ridiculous standard.
Super knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck she's talking about.
And this is all like here's what my syllabus is like. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to this is the best. Upon course completion, right? Students will be able to apply principles of human physiology to predict human performance capabilities and limitations in normal and at risk for human habitation environments. Analyze self-induced stresses, their causes, and physiological symptoms.
Okay.
Analyze environmental stressors, their causes, and physiological symptoms. Evaluate the physiology of sleep and circadian rhythms and relate to fatigue and complex systems operations, which thankfully we have an extensive background in.
Yeah.
already.
Oh yeah.
Evaluate properties and responses to thermal and convective heat loss. Like there's some physics involved in this one.
Yeah.
Evaluate the human systems processes with respect to human performance, causes, implications of abnormalities, sensor motor system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, central nervous system. Just a bunch of anatomy shit that's in like, and when I started reading, it immediately would delve straight into some fucking anatomy that I'm like, oh God, don't remember fucking anatomy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So, and then it goes on for more shit. Analyze the effectiveness of countermeasures and life support equipment. Develop and defend a health maintenance plan for aerospace crew members or other identified at-risk group. And on and on and on. It's going to be a long 9 weeks, man. There's a lot. There's a fuck ton of research and writing.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, at least it's all stuff that you're somewhat familiar with.
It's yes, I'm familiar with it, and it's interesting. It's just it's at a level of detail that is going to require like so much focus, and I have had no ability to focus lately, like none.
Yeah.
Like my vapor locking in the middle of sentences is a direct correlation of that. It's like
you gotta get some fucking Adderall or
I
something.
do.
Man.
I do. I need something because otherwise I'm going to be fucked. Because this is not the time, and with trying to do shit like that and write papers and that are
In a master's fucking program.
that
Yeah.
are going to be analyzed by the course developer. Fuck
Probably
me.
can't bullshit your way through that one.
No, sadly I cannot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's it for. Oh no, that's not it for my week. That is not it. Because I stopped by the Vickers.
Yeah.
Is Dave's leg still leaking? No, it is not. G-force. My leg is not leaking. Although it's still fucking scabbing. It's crazy. Yeah, so it's a very obvious wound that's still there, but it's not leaking. Although I'm going to pee my pants, but I'm going to wait till after our weeks, and then we're going to break for peeing.
Okay.
Otherwise, we should have peed before we started, but because we started early,
Right.
it affected the timing of that.
Yeah. We'll
And
just
now
take a
I'm
quick
going to have an emergency.
Okay.
So I stopped by the Vickers, and I got to play with toys.
Nice. Nice.
And one of those toys was one of these.
Oh shit.
So, have you seen the enhance your fucking barrel discipline, dude? Have you seen the like pro Nerf guns?
Maybe.
Yeah, look right down the barrel, Jason. Like Jesus Christ!
There's
Should
no
I
mag-
hand you a lightsaber?
There's no magazine in there.
There is a magazine in there.
What? It's empty.
Oh, where's the magazine?
I don't know.
Oh, here's the magazine. So, Yeah, so Vickers has been printing these Nerf guns, and they shoot these smaller darts.
Yeah, so small.
So small.
My penis is so smooth.
This just in. Jason's penis is so small and weaponized. So I was made to promise to not shoot you
I appreciate that.
because we measured the feet per second of this thing, and it was between like 140 and 160 feet per second.
Damn. God damn.
Dude, this thing is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And this is just the pistol. They had rifles that were like 250 feet per second.
Holy
like
shit.
we were shooting rifles in the yard, and it was fucking awesome.
And these are all 3D printed?
This is 3D printed, man.
That's great.
Like, obviously, except for the metal tube, like, and it's got pins and screws and stuff in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it is fucking awesome. But you can see it's like,
Made by Helmet Fire.
yep. And look on the other side.
Philly Dave's FB, FA, and FO.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's just a spring in it. But yeah, there's this like whole market for these professional Nerf guns. And it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's awesome.
He made me a giant for when I'm going into the hood. I got a giant fucking magazine.
Can I shoot one?
Yeah.
Just one?
Just don't shoot me.
No, I was going to like shoot the door. Look at this thing.
Now roll it forward. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
So that went across the studio and came all the way the fuck back
Yeah.
to us. Dude, these things are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We got to find your bullets at some point.
yeah, I'm gonna have to start investing in a bunch of them, but but yeah, this thing, it's just advanced Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Like it
That's got to hurt like a motherfucker, though. That's probably got to hurt worse than a paintball gun.
up close, I bet it does.
Yeah.
You know, Nerf or not, I mean, it's still a Nerf bullet. I mean, you feel it. It's a regular Nerf bullet.
Well,
It's
but
just-
again, if you shoot that shit at fucking couple hundred feet per second, then
well,
it's
according to
still
Carly Vickers, apparently it hurts, and especially when you get shot in the head.
she got shot in the head.
I can only say that she must have spoken from experience.
Oh my god.
So, and she's probably listening right now. They said they were going to listen up until. He said about this. Helmet Fire says about the same actually. But yeah, all this is 3D printed, man.
That's great.
And then yeah, put it all together. And Vickers sent me the videos for like breakdown for servicing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's got good weight to it. I'm gonna put some grip on the.
Yeah, and this is
On the
yours to
receiver.
keep. He made this one for you.
Yeah, this one's mine.
Nice.
Yeah, hence the Philly Daves.
In the chat, Helmet Fire. It was a fucking accident. It's great.
But yeah, it's very cool. The rifles are really cool. And this is exactly what fucking 3D printers should be used for. Fucking Nerf guns.
Right. Yeah.
Not for real guns, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you you've seen the movie In the Line of Fire, right?
No.
You never seen it?
No.
God damn, you're the second person. And I've asked, and
That's Harrison Ford, right?
no, it's Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
He's playing a Secret Service agent.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's actually a good movie.
I think Kristen has seen it, actually. I think she actually told me it was a good movie, too.
It is. It's a good movie. Yeah, see, Carly's in the chat. Yes, I was shot in the head. Back and to the left. But yeah, it's so fucking cool. And the appropriate use of fucking printing. He's also printing something else that's very, very cool, which I'm not going to talk about because I feel like that's a good reveal for
the show.
Something later.
All right. So, is that it?
Came with all this extra stuff too, but I won't get into that.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. Because I gotta pee.
All right.
God, if I don't go fucking pee right now, something bad's gonna happen.
All right, so we're going to take a very quick break before we actually start getting into Ahsoka and be right back after this word from our sponsors. I don't have the Colt 45 drop.
Do I?
I mean, it's on the mixer.
So fucking do your bit.
All right, hang on. I got to find it. It's not on Dave's page. Go over. It's not on that page. No, it's not on that page. There we go. All right, thrilling. Ooh, I should just leave it on a different one, and maybe Dave will think that it's his drop, and then he'll push stuff, and then it'll be all fucked up. It'll be great. I guess while we wait for Dave, maybe I can open up a Darth Malgus real quick. And for those of you who don't know who Darth Malgus is, you're really missing out on some good cinematic shit from Star Wars, from the Old Republic video game. I mean, just watching the trailers alone, he's in like 3 of the cinematics, the big cinematics that they release. He's a fucking badass in all of them, too. Oh, God. Look at this. He's like wrapped up like a fucking dead body in here. Let's see. Where do we cut? It's a dynamite taste. Oh, God. Oh, this is awesome. This is fucking awesome. So the collector's edition of the Old Republic came with a Darth Malgus statue that was also really detailed and really badass, and I had it, and it fucking broke during a move once. I was very upset. But check this motherfucker out. Bald head, pale skin, I can relate. Oh, fucking awesome. Well, let me get his lightsaber out. Oh, God. But then I gotta... Or I should pee too.
Did you hit the drop?
Yeah, eventually I found it.
I can just splice it in.
Sure. And then, yep, there's a saber. Bzz, with the nice fucking...
Nice.
Yes, after 1,000 years, Korriban is ours again. Welcome home. Oh, so cool. And he's got the fucking hood.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just that up the ante right there.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll put him right there. I'm going to go pee, entertain the folks.
Entertain them. So I think with the... I wonder, Helmet Fire, if they have the Darth Malgus kill Grogu. What? No, I wonder if they have like a mock-up. We were talking about the gun from Halo. I wonder if they have a mock-up where you can make the DL-44 Han Solo's gun. That would be fucking awesome. Because that's based on a Luger receiver, right? So you may be able to... That print's probably out there. It's got to be. Because there's got to be other nerds that are fucking thinking the same shit.
All right. I'm ready. All right, you good? Is that the signal?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me mid-show.
Why would I do such a thing?
No idea.
As long as the Irish aren't involved, should be good to go.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Ready?
Yeah. So, Ahsoka. Yeah, the finale. It's in the bag.
Yes.
Season is over, and I mean, we got a lot to talk about from this episode.
The things happened.
Yes, I have a lot of thoughts.
Some things happened.
Oh yeah.
And credits.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously we're going into spoilers here. If you haven't seen the Ahsoka finale for whatever reason,
Right.
I don't know why you wouldn't have at this point.
Well, I mean, some people may have been waiting to watch it with their daughter, and then their daughter doesn't have Disney Plus, so there wasn't a reason to continue to watch it because it would have spoiled it for them. So then they just never got back to watching it.
That sounds like a very specific hypothetical.
If it does sound oddly specific, doesn't it? Sorry, Helmet Fire. But yes, there may be people that have not watched it yet, and to those people, I say, watch it. Why not?
And
Go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh.
I love that. That's fucking hilarious. Oh.
yeah, I think you might be on the wrong page.
I think so. Did somebody switch pages?
Well, yeah, because I had to find the damn.
This just in. Jason's fucking with the soundboard and has obviously disrupted the entire bit that I was trying to do. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. So
I had a whole thing set up. Nope.
So spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to spoilers right from the get-go.
We're going to spoilers.
Yep. So, starting off, we get a nice shot of the Chimera from the back. That's how we open, basically, after like the previously on and all that. Just this back shot of the Chimera, like still hovering over that temple.
Right in the ass.
Yes.
Just right there.
Well, and it's
Penis so smooth.
it's great too because you get another detail with the Chimera where you can see the engine on the left is like fucking just completely destroyed again from like his time with the Purgle.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they just fucking just wrapped their arms around everything and destroyed half of the ship. So that one wasn't even like fully repaired when they did all the rest of the repairs. So it was cool, and it was just this very neat shot of the Chimera, and you could see all of the art on the bottom.
Yeah, and it really made it obvious that like that ship obviously was not space worthy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, it could function in Atmo. It had enough whatever
Yeah.
to be able to maneuver in atmosphere, which, but like, okay. All right. So if Helmet Fire has already left, which he probably has because he didn't want to have spoilers, but so this is where Star Wars physics stymies me yet again. Because Helmet Fire and I were talking about like the Death Star and orbital mechanics. Remember I had this conversation about all this bullshit, right?
Oh yeah, trust me, I've got some issues like with the
And the
physics in this too.
The starship is the amount of energy it would take to fucking maneuver that thing in Atmo compared to what it would take to maneuver it in space is so much harder. It's so much harder to make something with that mass operate in a fucking gravity environment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, why? Why is it just chilling down there? Unless they can't pressurize it for some reason, but which they obviously can because they take it into fucking space.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god. And this is the shit that when I watch it the second time, that's the type of shit that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time watching it through because that's when I'm getting the story and the characters and everything. When you're watching it the second time, you're like, why the fuck is this ship? Like, it's obviously banged up.
Yeah.
It's obvious they can't take it into fucking space.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of stuck here. He's fucking making drug deals with a bunch of witches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's doing all this bullshit. Why isn't this fucking thing in space where they can actually probably maneuver it a lot better? Actually have the benefit of orbital bombardment and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, let's park its belly button right on top of the fucking penis of fucking whatever planet this is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Peridia. The penis of Peridia.
Peridia. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody etched that into a fucking carving right now.
Yeah. The penis of Peridia.
In basic. Or in was that you? No, it was your shoes.
Oh.
No, yeah, somebody carved that into an obelisk, like was it Space Odyssey, right?
Oh yeah.
Carve it in there, the space penis of Peridia.
Yep. And of course they're still loading all the cargo, which it's pretty obvious now that they're like casket sized
Yeah,
pieces of cargo.
bunch of witches, bitches.
Yeah. And
Witches.
yeah, and they're finally done loading.
A witch, bitch.
Yeah. And
No, that's later. Anyway.
yeah. And I have a theory about the cargo. I'm sure everybody has their own theory about what the cargo is, but we'll talk about that when we get to the end. Thrawn knows at this point not to underestimate a Jedi. He has this whole conversation with Morgan Elsbeth. He's like, because she's like, oh yeah, we're home free. It's all good in the hood. And he's like, I've been, fucking around with Jedi long enough to know. Don't underestimate him. I've seen plenty of people, fall to that.
Yet he still does. He still monologues. He's still fucking
true.
Like he's still. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Well, but he knew though, like especially at the end when he was monologuing, he knew at that point he was home free.
Right.
But yeah, no, it happens. Yeah, and then during this whole thing, Morgan Elsbeth basically gets a promotion. The witches say, "All right, you've done well. Are you ready to give up your life for for what they call it, the gift of shadows?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The gift of bad skin.
Yeah.
And glowy bits. Are you ready?
Yeah, that's part of the Night Sister.
Give it to me.
Yeah. Though
We're going to dry up your vagina right now.
I don't know what that has to do with any of this.
I don't know. It's got to, right? Like I'm gonna fry you up. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Like everything's gonna dry out, right?
I guess.
Like her eyes are fucking.
Well, but I know the Night
ear
Sisters.
canals, the fucking vag.
Well, we know that they procreate because one of them was Darth Maul's mom, one of the Night Sisters.
Yeah, but they probably it's probably like some I'm gonna open my vessel and create. I doubt it's like just actual fornication. The penis of Peridot fucking penetrating into the womb of the witch's brew or something.
Of course, I'm more having a visual about giving birth to a Zabrak with the horns and everything.
God. No wonder they're evil and angry. It's like, no! Oh my God! Not enough stitches in the world for that one.
Oof,
Brings a whole new meaning to episiotomy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't need the doctor to do it. The baby's going to do it himself. And then they give her the Blade of Talzin, which Talzin was the sister who was the mother of Darth Maul.
Right.
And it's just this fucking awesome, fucking glowing green blade.
A new toy for us to collect at some point.
Yes.
Right. Did anyone else watch this and not just go like, that's going to be a Black Series. That's going to be marketing. That's
100%.
Fucking...
Oh, I know I did, for sure.
Yeah, every fucking single thing.
Yeah, like especially when we get to the zombie death troopers. And...
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So absolutely I was thinking about that. But yeah, it's this long fucking drawn out scene where they give her like the power of shadows and like her eyes go black, and it's pretty cool because they use a lot of like the words that they use when they're asking her like, are you willing to give up your previous life and all that stuff, and then some of the chanting, that's all pulled from Clone Wars episodes. Something like that. Yeah.
I can't stop this feeling.
Yeah. So
inside of me.
And then we go into the title.
Girl, you just don't realize. You should just sing along, Jason. It would go so much easier if you just fucking just went with it.
No, I can't.
If you hold me with your horny head.
Right. So yeah,
ripping through your vagina.
That was all pre-title sequence.
It'll scream you dead.
Are you done?
Hi, hooked on a feeling.
Can I go now?
My penis so smooth.
All right, so yeah, that's all a lead up to the title. And the title of this episode is The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Nice little nod to Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, obviously.
My God. I was like, did you really just do that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dave loves doing his references.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He does.
He really does.
And honestly, are you familiar with the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe? Like, is that something that you read when you were?
I read the first one. Never saw the movie.
Yeah, I did. I see the movie. I may have saw the movie with the kids. Right, the new movie. I don't know if there was older movies.
There probably were, but I was referring to the new movie when
I'd
seen it.
I read all through those books. I was a big C.S. Lewis guy. I like those books. It was kind of like the lead-ins to enjoying books like the Dune series and Lord of the Rings and shit like that.
Sure,
It was kind of in that fantasy realm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's whatever. Like, I didn't really like or dislike the title. It's just like, okay, that's cute.
I went. I think I literally made that sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we go to our heroes and the fucking shell people. Why does the ship need to fly 5 feet above the fucking shell people?
Right. They're in such a fucking hurry.
Yeah.
Right. And G-Force in the fucking chat, I think he said it too. Like, yeah, we're in a hurry, but we're gonna fly this at hermit crab speed.
Why do they need to stay with the shell people at all? Why doesn't Ezra just say his goodbyes, but we gotta go save the fucking galaxy?
Hey, piss off. Here, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
It is the most valuable element as referred to in previous fucking conversations.
Yeah.
Yet here we are. Put, like we're flying in the fucking Jetsons.
Yeah, like, are the fucking shell... Do they think the shell people are going to fucking help them,
Yeah, 'cause they're
siege the fucking ship?
They're obvious warriors that
clearly.
Yeah. They add so much to the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, why? Yeah, no, that made no fucking sense to me.
I agree. Like, you imparted a time restraint in the story, and then you're making them go ridiculously slow.
Yeah.
Now, if there was some sort of umbilical that they needed to tie for power to the ship because there was an issue with the ship,
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah, but
maybe
that
allude
was...
to something like that. Like, then fucking ditch the ship.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously fucking a giant anchor.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, you're fucking better off riding the wolf dog things that you end up riding later anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're in a hurry.
Right.
My God. Yeah.
Yep, but no, for some reason they felt the need to stick with the shell people. And again,
this just in. They're not really in a hurry to get to Thrawn.
Yeah, clearly. And again, let's fly 5 feet over them just in case.
Right.
For reasons.
Reasons.
But if we happen to lose,
Maybe it's
like
a fuel issue.
Yeah.
Maybe they're running out of gas.
Well, to your point before about the Star Destroyer.
Yes, I know.
It seems like a poorer use of fuel if that's what they're doing. And, if they, for some reason, happen to lose their stabilizers, then they're going to crush the fucking shell people.
Do you ever think about... So, you remember the days when you had the fucking safety wire shit, right?
Oh, I do.
So...
I'll never forget those days, as much as I try.
Yeah, the holes in my hands still to...
Oh, and we're about to talk about aircraft maintenance soon, too, so don't you worry.
Yeah. The amount of maintenance that they do on the fly to this machine, and there's no, like, I guess everything's got an environmental plug on it because there's never any, like, safety wiring or with all the wiring, and there's no regard. It's like everything is being either soldered with a welder or hit with a hammer.
Right.
And that fixes everything.
Right.
Like, what a brilliant fucking universe this is, that I'm like, oh, this is broken? Oh, no, it's fixed!
Right. Well, let's put a pin in that for just a minute, because...
Actually, saying that, it's... Sorry, Malgus. Saying that, we did hit things with hammers to make them work.
Sure, but
and
not the way things were broken in this. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to get there in just a minute. But before that... we flash to Ezra inside the ship building a new lightsaber, right, with Hu Yang. Because there's got to be a whole story with how Hu Yang hooked up with fucking Ahsoka in the first place, and now all of his fucking lightsaber parts are in little compartments in her ship. then he has a system of organization. Sure.
I think there's a lot of Clone Wars elements that we're missing
Yeah.
because we're not so enveloped in the Clone Wars lore
Right.
that we're probably missing in that. I just took that for what it was.
Yeah.
it didn't wrap me up.
Yeah, but
Not nearly as much as over the fucking Smurfs as they were fucking speeding along towards fucking Thrawn.
Yeah, speeding. And Ezra's building his lightsaber, and he's having some back and forth with Hu Yang, and it eventually somehow it's revealed to Hu Yang that Kanan Jarrus was Ezra's master,
Right.
which Hu Yang didn't already know that, yet he knew of Kanan Jarrus's alias because he was Caleb Dune when he was actually a Jedi.
Right.
But somehow he knew who that was, but he had no idea that he was Ezra's master. I guess he got very little bits and pieces from Ahsoka when it comes to back information. Like, hey, why are we going to this other galaxy? Who's this fucking Ezra person?
Right.
And Ahsoka's just like, shut up. We're just going.
Just trust me
Yeah.
because I've made such good decisions up to this point
Right.
because reasons.
And he ends up building a blade with an emitter that's exactly like Kanan's was.
It was a spare.
Yeah, the
right?
spare from when he made his first lightsaber. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Just in case he needed an extra, I happen to have it with me.
Well,
That's cute.
I mean, yeah, that's whatever. Like, I wasn't too upset about that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've seen over the years, especially in the prequels, how Jedi lose their fucking lightsabers left and right.
Right.
It's,
Yeah. It's like it's to make a golf analogy, like if you go like the professional golfers, they have these trailers. So their sponsors have just everything they have all the numbers for that particular golfer. So if they like snap a fucking a shaft or something shit like that, they're like, okay, I need that club. And they go in there and like pull all the parts and fucking put everything together and bend it to the right thing and weight and all that shit. And they basically make a clone of that club and hand it to them.
Yeah.
And they have everything there to do it. And it's right there in the fucking trailer. And they can do that with all the players they're sponsoring. And that's what this fucking lightsaber workshop reminded me of.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm just going to go in here and like, yeah, okay, I got that here and I got that here.
Which again, it's fine. Like, I'm totally on board with it, but I still want to know how he ended up with Ahsoka in the first place, but that's whatever. That's story for another time. I'm sure they'll explore it in a fucking comic or something or a novel. So he builds his lightsaber. All the while, Sabine's sitting there also. And fucking Hu Yang keeps making these fucking comments about, oh, the bond between a master and an apprentice is so strong. And, oh, it's very obvious that you had a great bond with your master. As Sabine's like sitting there just kind of like, okay, I get
Sabine's like, you know what? Fucking hoo-yah. I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah.
I'm about done with this.
Because he knew she was right there. So obviously he was making these comments on purpose just to
Right.
kind of make her feel bad or something.
Yeah, he's a real dick.
Yeah.
I kind of like him,
Oh, yeah.
but he's a real dick.
Yeah. Yeah. So she walks out and talks to Ahsoka because they're just sitting on the outside of the ship, because, I mean, what else are you going to do?
You're
when
only going 5 miles an hour. Not that hard.
Yeah.
They're obviously not going to be affected by any wind velocity.
No, definitely not. But
I think the hot air balloons probably would be moving faster than they're moving right now.
Clearly.
By moving around with the Smurfs.
Yeah. And during this time is when it's revealed sort of why Sabine and Ahsoka split up in the first place. But the first time that they were master and apprentice, Hu Yang reveals to Ezra that Ahsoka was afraid of Sabine's intentions after the Night of 1,000 Tears when, all of her family was killed on Mandalore. Because Ahsoka, I guess, felt that Sabine wanted to be a Jedi for the wrong reasons, probably for some like vengeance type of motivations.
Sounds like a great reason.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I
Sounds like it to me.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So at that
there's
point,
only passion, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that goes?
yeah, it's one of their creeds. I think peace is a lie. There's only passion.
Yes.
Yeah. Either way. So that's why they split up, because apparently Ahsoka thought Sabine was doing this for the wrong reasons and might turn to the dark side. So she's like, all right, see ya. And that was it.
Yeah. Peace out.
Yeah. So Ahsoka definitely seems like she was the one in the wrong when it came to how their relationship soured in the first place.
Ahsoka's kind of a mess. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
She's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
And we understand why. I mean, Anakin was her fucking master, so yeah.
Yeah, and she had to fight him as Darth Vader, so yeah, I saw that motherfucker too.
We're gonna get it. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
Oh,
Got him.
sweet. Nicely done. And then outside, fucking Sabine and Ahsoka are talking. And
Oh my God, what happened?
you okay over there?
Things are happening.
All right, Dave's knocking over some shit. But yes, Ahsoka reaffirms her commitment to Sabine at this point. She's like, no matter what, I'll stand behind you because my master stood behind me. It's like,
Until later.
right. And it's like, well, yeah.
Didn't you just say no? Forget what I just said. Just
Yeah. And then, when they're done with their during their conversation on the ship, there's a nice little Yoda reference when Ahsoka asks her if she's been keeping up with her training, and she's like, I've been trying, and then she stops herself. I've been doing. So Ahsoka did the do or do not on her at some point during her training. So that was kind of funny.
yeah.
But this kind of has me wondering, like, are we teasing a potential Sabine dark side turn at some point? Like, if we get a season 2 of the show, I kind of feel like they're teasing that. Like, somebody's going to turn to the dark side, either Sabine or Ezra, or even Ahsoka, based on what Thrawn said at the end of the episode. So
I'm gonna save comments regarding that until the end.
Okay.
When we have a wrap up.
All right. Well, after their conversation on top of the ship, and after Ezra finishes his lightsaber, it's like, oh, I'm done. And then immediately we have TIE fighters enter the battle. Which, looking at the TIE fighter helmets, I think those were also different from the standard ones, right? Because they kind of had the red streaks going down in like a V almost.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same way the troopers were all sort of repaired and patched together.
Yeah. So you know what that means.
It means it's another figure you got to get.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what that means.
And that
Jason.
was my wonder, like, if that's...
Like, God damn it.
Yeah. But apparently, Thrawn's TIE pilots, I don't know. They apparently haven't seen any action in a long time. I don't know.
I don't think there's any fucking simulators on the fucking Chimera, because those dudes rusty as fuck.
Well, yeah, and then when fucking Sabine's like, she's just putting all the power into the fucking engines for one burst to just collide with them, instead of, like, moving, the guy goes, ah!
Drifting lazily to the left.
Yeah.
You know, wow, that guy's got some maneuvers.
Yeah.
No, not going to do that.
Yeah.
Just going to fucking die.
Yeah, because instead, Sabine just, like, shoots towards them. Instead of moving, they just do a collision course right into the wing tips of the fucking Jedi shuttle and are destroyed.
Just some kamikaze maneuver.
Which, I mean, is fine. We've seen that before in Star Wars, but you would think when that happens that at least the tips of the wings would also be damaged or break off or whatever. And then immediately after that, when they go up and then fucking dive right into the goddamn ground, you're like, oh, that ship's never flying again.
You would think.
Yes, because, again, as a former aircraft maintainer, I like seeing something like that makes me think, ooh, you're going to have some serious structural issues.
Sure.
After this. Your wingtips are probably off, so your ability to fly is pretty much nulled until you can get some, sheet metal guys in there and...
This and there's no materials.
No.
There's no parts.
No.
They are constantly, like I said before, they're fixing ships with nothing.
Right. They're just rewiring stuff.
They have nothing.
It works.
Like, oh, it's fixed. Like
that's
like this happens in The Mandalorian. It happened in the original trilogy. Like it's something that after becoming a fucking airplane mechanic, you look at it and you go like, or it just even being a mechanic in general. Mm-hmm. Just looking at it going like, that's not how the fucking Force works. That's not how this... No, that's not how this goes.
You can't just go on some wires or just like put some new wires together. And it's like, oh, it works. We rerouted power to the the aft stabilizers.
Or no, I'm going to go back to this fucking circuit breaker panel and suddenly make this circuit breaker panel randomly go do other things.
Yep.
Like that's not... What?
Yeah.
Like...
That's not going to fix the fucking structural damage that you had to have incurred between colliding with 2 TIE fighters and then crashing straight into the ground.
This was an issue. Like in The Force Awakens, I had this issue when they're messing around with the fucking.
I bypassed the compressor.
Yeah. What? That's like you went into the overhead compartment and pulled out a random fucking bizabah, whoozy what's it.
Yeah.
Like that's no. Oh my God. Like again, suspension of disbelief, whatever. But I did get to a point in this episode where like you can only fix this ship so many times.
Yes.
And she like you should have just fucking been done with the ship. Like just again, I have theory for later.
Okay.
But I honestly thought, I was like, okay, that was it. Last gasp for the fucking T6. Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Write it off. You're going to have to get the Chimera somehow with a little bit more expeditious manner than the fucking Smurfs that you're riding.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And the Smurfs are also like sitting there like with wires, just like putting different wires together.
Yeah, with fucking Hu Yang going like... Yeah, I got a crack crew in here. Like, again, it's my favorite droid. It really is. Like almost as much as Dio.
Yeah. And like a lot of my notes here are like, as a former aircraft mechanic, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah. A lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Sidebar, did you see that 757 that went gear up landing?
No, when was this?
This was a couple weeks ago. There was a FedEx airplane, and they had a hydraulic issue where the gear wouldn't come down.
Oh shit!
At all. Which, okay, I know you probably don't know or remember that there's several different ways to be able to get the gear down.
Well, I know in the KC-135s we had the manual gear.
Right. We didn't have that in the 7.5. There was 3 different hydraulic ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of the fail-safe was using this little electric motor that would take residual hydraulic fluid and release basically the little locks on the gear, and then the gear would gravity fall and blow the doors open, and then that would lock through the gravity fall.
Yeah.
Right. So it would only take a little bit of electricity to the motor to be able to circulate a small amount of hydraulic fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that part didn't even work. So these guys they took off out of Chattanooga and were trying to run checklists, and they had to do electric fucking flap deployment. Okay. Went around, fucking had an unsafe gear indication, and the gear was never down. Mm-hmm. So they ended up coming in and fucking landing like right on the fucking engine pods.
Wow.
Right. And you just see the 757 just coming down flat.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because we have thousands of hours that we've spent on this airplane.
Uh-huh.
Right. And it's a 757-200 with fucking RB211s on it. So it's the exact same fucking airplane.
Yeah.
And it's like looking at it afterwards, seeing it parked there, just sitting on the ground with no landing gear, right? Just sitting on the engine nacelles. You're just like, that, you're like, it makes your brain hurt because you're like, that doesn't look right at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, the crew did a great job.
Yeah.
No landing gear, fucking, they flew the approach and fucking got it down. And I will say the fucking right seater did exactly what it's supposed to do and sounded cool on the radio.
That's good.
So everything went to plan. So I'm really curious as to what's going to happen. Like, it's one of those things where, man, I really wish I worked for the NTSB so I could fucking be involved in this, because I'm extremely familiar with the fucking airplane and the systems and everything else, and I want to be there on scene to fucking find out what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I don't know. All they need is Hu Yang. He'll just do a couple of and then it can just fly again.
And then the gear would pop up, and the fucking airplane would.
Yeah, never mind.
All the sheet metal would unbend.
Yeah.
And it would be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? FedEx will probably fly that airplane again. That's what's funny. Like, it's a testament to like the airplane that we flew on for so much of our lives. Mm-hmm. The testament of how fucking strong that airplane and those engines were, because
Yeah.
you figure you're landing on that thing, and it literally was skidding. You watch the video, and I'll send you a really good YouTube clip of it.
Yeah, I want to see that.
And it was at night, so all you see is like he comes down, and you just see the sparks coming off of the nacelles as he's fucking landing, and it just till it comes to a stop. It ends up coming kind of off the end of the runway a little bit because there's no way to fucking stop.
Well, yeah.
There's no brakes.
Yeah,
And thrust reversers aren't going to work when the fucking engines are on the ground.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they kind of like went off into the grass, and then they fucking popped the two right slide and fucking
Yeah.
went out. But, you know, it's just something that they landed on this thing. The airplane weighs even empty, 175,000 pounds. So once the wing load comes off and there's no longer any lift on it, that's a lot of weight being put into that wing box and onto those engine nacelles.
Oh yeah.
And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And it's a testament to the engineering and the airplane that we spent so much time in.
So are you saying that the T6
Is not a 757.
no?
No.
Okay, so that's not why they were able to get it back up and running in such a short period of time. Okay,
No,
fair enough.
It is not.
All right. Anyway, we flash back to Thrawn, and Enoch is telling him that they lost the ties. And this is something very cool, a small little detail, but really good about Thrawn. And we got a lot of good little details about his character in this. But one, he's like, okay, it's an acceptable loss, and mark the captain for citation for the TIE pilots.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? That's fucking, as military guys, like I immediately keyed in on that. I'm like, that's fucking cool. The fact that he thought to mention that.
Well, it goes to, we talked about it in the last couple episodes, where I really think Thrawn, he knew that he had to maintain in order to keep this crew together, to keep the ship together. It's like, we are going to be as regimented to the point where this is going to be the most disciplined military organization, to the point of fanaticism.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, everyone will just fucking they'll go native.
Yeah, they'll all desert and
Right.
Yeah.
He'll have no control over it. So he has to maintain this level of military discipline.
Yeah.
It's not a show. It's what he knows he has to do in order to maintain this military.
Yeah.
This is the only presence he has.
Yep.
Like, nope, this is what we're doing. This is the goal. This is what we're going to, and we're going to fucking do it. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah. Again, the little details of giving people citations when they do, commendable things.
Right.
And just, again, if you've never served in the military, I don't know if you quite can grasp the significance of something like that line. It might seem like a throwaway line to some people, but for us military folks, that's the mark of a good leader.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then we flash to Ahsoka and crew on fucking Wolfback, hauling ass to the ship, as they probably should have done in the first fucking place.
Or flew their flyable enough ship there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, before they ever saw the TIE fighters, but too late for that. Then we go back to Thrawn, and Morgan Elspeth is briefing these fucking night troopers about their next job, because they're apparently all volunteers who decided to stay back and keep the fucking Jedi from getting into the ship. Right. And Thrawn's even like, they understand what they're signing up for, and she's like, yep. And she mentioned something like they're making this sacrifice for you, and Thrawn immediately corrects her. It's for the Empire.
For the Empire. Exactly.
So again, he is still looking at the greater empire and not himself. Like he's not taking like this dictator role. He's still just like, everything that I do is still for the Empire and for our galaxy.
But at the same time, again, I think the character recognizes that is exactly what has to, like, he's like, yeah, yes, I know that they will follow their leaders to the ends of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But he needs to stand there and say that this is for the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, this is not his own personal mission.
Yeah.
And it's played exactly right. It's part of what I will say for what could be seen as a lot of failings with what's happening and how they're working this with Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
I think the portrayal of what the character is, I think, has been pretty good.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
spot on.
Yeah. At this point, too, as they're riding up on the wolves, this is when Ezra reveals that after him and Thrawn got to the new galaxy, he found this temple and awoke the sisters. So the Night Sisters that, you know, have been working with him are ones that he woke up out of their fucking little hypersleep or whatever that they were in. And I'd be willing to bet that it was part of a grand deal that they had between them, that, you know, the Night Sisters are like, all right, we'll help you like get back to your fucking galaxy and everything, but you got to do this for us. We got to pack up all the rest of our fucking people, and, you know, you got to take us to Dathomir, which, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
that's where they end up at the end. That's kind of what I'm thinking happened here, was that, you know, with the revelation that he woke up the Night Sisters, probably to get their assistance, only if he did something for them.
Right.
But we can get more into that when we get to the end. Fuck, I lost my place. This is, we get into some of my least favorite parts of this whole episode. So this is when they're riding on Wolfback. They're getting close to the temple, and Thrawn's doing the bombardment. Like as they're riding in, and they're fucking like trying to use the force to open the fucking door, and Ahsoka's like, Sabine, help! When she's shown no force ability up to this point, and she even sticks up her hand like, ooh. It's like, okay, whatever, you know, and I helped.
Right.
And then they get in, and it goes to a scene where they're talking about Thrawn, and then it flashes back to Ahsoka and crew when they're already engaged with the Night Troopers. And I don't know how much you really paid attention to this scene, but it looked so ridiculous because it starts with just a front view of Ahsoka, like with her lightsabers deflecting like the blaster bolts of the Night Troopers, but it looked like it was just so lazily done. Like literally, she's just standing there like this. Like no intensity interacting at all. She's just kind of like sitting there, just like no sense of danger, no nothing. It just looked ridiculous for some reason.
I wonder if it was a deliberate, like, hey, this is easy for you, so
I guess
play it that way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it looked fucking dumb. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm hung up on this, but that one shot for some reason really irked me. And it bothered me every time that I watched this fucking episode. I don't know. To me, that's more probably a fault with the director than say the actors, but it didn't look like there was any sense of, you know, threat or anything else. It was just her just standing there, just, you know,
I got you.
lazily deflecting.
I got you.
Bolts.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just did not like that scene at all. Fuck, lost my place again.
Blaster bolts.
Oh, yeah. Then of course they kill all the stormtroopers. Then the fucking Night Sisters do their chant, and then they resurrect them as zombie troopers, which was actually kind of cool,
Right?
You know, because they're all like fucking, you know.
Then I'm like, okay, I guess I went to fucking Fallen Order. I went to Jedi like Survivor, like Cal Kestis. Fucking all right. This has happened before now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that big a deal to me. I do really wish though that there was a point where, okay, I get you can't kill you can't kill indiscriminately, I guess is the term, but at the same time, fucking show a little bit more dismemberment, I guess. Like,
yeah,
show the elimination of these troopers,
right?
Like, okay, I get it. Like, there's for some of this, and I think we've gotten to a point where for some shots we see like a fantastic amount of like what lightsaber damage is and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for other shots, it still looks like that somebody's being hit with a Nerf sword and falling down. And I wonder if that has
some
continuity with that shit.
Sure, I kind of wonder if that has more to do with them trying to still be somewhat family friendly and not getting too gruesome with the details. But you do see a severed head later on,
right?
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where the line is.
We have severed heads in fucking Star Wars. It's a thing.
Yeah.
There's amputations and fucking. That's,
Oh yeah, there's
like-
no shortage of limbs being cut off
Right?
in Star Wars.
So fucking go for it.
Yeah, I don't know, but now why is it that in apparently every galaxy, no matter what kind of structure it is, if there's a fucking door that's controlled by a panel, every time you destroy the panel, it defaults to fucking closed. Why is that? I know it's like something dumb, nitpicky, but it's like all of these fucking temple doors have a little fucking controller, and if you just slice it with a lightsaber, boom, close. Like, why is the default
All right,
closed?
so let's talk this through. All right. So if I have to use power, so what state? So if let's say it's a fire door, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a fire door in a building has to be able to be closed,
Okay.
right? The steady state it should be closed,
Yeah.
easily opened, because you need to be able to egress out of it.
Correct.
But it's the steady state is closed.
Mhm.
So if you had some sort of sliding door, and this happens to be sliding up,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, and then I would have to have electrical power applied to it to keep it in the up position, let's say.
Okay.
So if I smash the panel, ostensibly I'm breaking the circuit, and then maybe with electrical power not applied to it anymore, then it's going to slide down.
Okay. That makes sense. I
That's
get
a
that.
very simplified version
Yeah.
of maybe that.
But we see them do that like 5 times, like
Sure.
cut the fucking panel to close the door to keep the zombies out.
It is a very Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I know it's a very movie thing, to be honest, but it's
Sure.
Star Wars thing in particular.
Yep. But no, your description actually makes a lot of sense, so I'll buy that. At this point, the Chimera docks with the hyperspace ring, which was actually a pretty cool scene, where you
Finally, yeah.
you finally get the scale of how big that ring is. It fits just perfectly over the fucking Star Destroyer, the way the old Jedi starfighters would fit in the smaller
Right.
hyperspace rings.
So it's large.
Yes, yeah. It's
It is-
it's
it
just
is-
they scaled it bigger to fit a
It's
Star Destroyer.
large. It is not.
My penis is so smooth.
It is not small.
Yeah. And then, of course, once they realize that the Death Troopers aren't going to hold the Jedi back, Thrawn essentially tells Morgan Elsbeth, like, yeah, you're going to have to
Yeah.
stay behind
Hey,
and
you're
stall
gonna
them
need to
some more.
take that new fucking that new shiny sword of yours.
Yeah.
And you're gonna need to go do some work.
Yeah. So get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Sprinkle some crack on them and get the fuck out of here.
Yep. And of course you could tell she wasn't really happy about that, but she agreed, and he's like, again, for the Empire. And as he's walking away, she sort of whispers, for Dathomir. Right. So she kind of knows what's up also.
Right. She has her own ulterior motives to the whole thing.
Yeah, which I think the sisters in general do.
Right.
But she agrees, so she goes down and she fucking confronts Ahsoka while she just lets Ezra and fucking Sabine go. And has a pretty cool fight with Ahsoka. It's I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I always enjoy a good lightsaber duel.
Right.
Right. But then fucking
But the whole like, hey, stay together thing.
yeah, again they don't do it.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, you need to go.
Yeah, this time
All
it
right.
was Ahsoka saying they needed to split up, whereas
Right.
last time it was Sabine saying I got this.
Right. Wait, but okay, whatever. No continuity whatsoever, but fine.
Yeah. So yeah, and when they get up to the top of the temple, that's where the fucking zombie death troopers were, the guys in black from Rogue One.
Right.
Which I think that was a great detail to those two because they were already zombies apparently. Like from the start. And you could still hear that kind of muffled like death trooper thing. Yeah, but you could hear like the zombie voices. muffling, which was actually pretty cool. And then, so Sabine and Ezra are fighting them while Ahsoka is still fighting Morgan Elsbeth and the rest of the Death Troopers. And I mean, ultimately, it's a fairly low stakes fight, if you ask me. But the Death Troopers got Sabine like pushed up against the wall, and then she's like, "Oh, reaching for my lightsaber." And as we all expected, Sabine learned how to use the Force in that moment and fucking brought her lightsaber to her hand and stabbed the dude through the head. But again, we all knew it was going to happen where Sabine was going to get the Force. I didn't want it to, but it seemed like they had been leading to that all
They
season.
forced it on us
Yeah.
all season.
Yeah. So
Where's the
yeah,
what
but
page is that on?
again, it was in this like kind of throwaway fight with these Death Troopers. You would think that it would come at a moment when, the stakes were maybe a little bit higher.
I mean, it was a life or death thing for her.
I guess
It was the stakes were pretty high for her. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of was. It kind of was for her.
All right, I guess.
I mean, it like at that point, it's your fight or flight is like, if I'm gonna do it, it's got to be now.
I'd at least would have liked it to have been Ezra was the one who was near fucking death, and the only way she could get the thing off him was to get the fucking lightsaber real quick and then do it that way. At least as part of her emotional connection to fucking Ezra or something.
She don't need no man.
I beg to differ. That's been her whole motivation this whole season is to go get to her man.
She's a strong, empowered woman, and she don't need no man.
I mean, that seems to be the case with most women in Star Wars, but Sabine in particular seems like she does need a man, or she wants a man. She's a traditional woman.
My penis so smooth.
You don't think that's true?
I don't know. I'd like.
I mean, she put the fucking fate of the whole galaxy at risk when she gave Balin the goddamn map. All so she could see Ezra.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a power of love?
Yeah.
So is that what you're telling me?
Maybe.
It's the power of love. Wow.
I don't think that's how that goes.
That's not. That's totally not how it goes. That's just it. That is not how that song goes at all. I'm Tom Brokaw.
But no, I think she definitely, I think she wants Ezra, wants him, whereas he's just kind of like, oh hey, it's my buddy, my sister, you know. So I think it's sort of a.
She's way more into him than he's into her.
Correct.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, as he's flying off in the fucking Chimera at the end, and he's looking down on her, he's probably thinking, "Oh no." Anyway, I better get this trooper suit on.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my ass, right? That's the whole purpose. No sense in you dying unnecessarily. So fuck it, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out.
Yep.
Enjoy your lightsaber.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as soon as she can bring the lightsaber to her hand, now all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah, I can push you across this fucking chasm." But that's not something that we haven't seen before. Kanan and Ezra used to do it all the time, and Ezra even did it with Maul in the one episode. So, but now all of a sudden, Sabine's like, "Oh yeah, I got it."
I think
You just learned how to use the Force 2 seconds ago.
it's look, Ray, it's Ray.
Yeah.
The Force was a switch that turned on.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think with Sabine, I think it's even more plausible because at least she was being taught for a while.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's not coming to me. It's not coming to me. Do you remember having a student, right? I'm using this analogy because I'm trying really hard to speak it into existence, right? But remember when you would have a student in the jet and they would just they would not be getting it. And they have the just dumb fucking look on their face. And they're like, God damn it, dude, I'm feeding it to you with like an airplane on a spoon, flying it into your little hangar, and you're just not fucking getting it. You're wearing it on your forehead.
Yeah.
And you're just not, and then suddenly you see it. The light comes on, and then suddenly it's like, oh, fuck. And then that information dam breaks.
Yeah.
It could very well be something like that with like, hey, at least she's had some training. She's had a fucking master. She's kind of been a Padawan.
Yeah.
At least she's had an opportunity to have information to make the light bulb go off, as opposed to some, it can be argued, that didn't have that.
Okay.
And then the light bulb just suddenly went off out of nowhere. I would be more willing to give the benefit of the doubt to the person that has had some training and the light bulb went on because their fucking life was in danger and maybe channeled into the fucking dark side a little bit.
Could be.
To make that fucking work, because we know the dark side's way easier to get into and it's better anyway.
Yeah, they have cookies.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, as Sabine's getting ready to like fucking make the jump too with Ezra, she looks back and sees Ahsoka fighting both the troopers and fucking Morgan, and obviously decides to stay back.
Right.
So it becomes Sabine versus the troopers, and Ahsoka still fighting Morgan Elspeth.
Right.
Rest in peace, Morgan Elspeth, because after a little bit more fighting, fucking Ahsoka just guts her with both blades. She gets her fucking, blade of Talzin and also her lightsaber and cuts her fucking stomach. Oh yeah, that's after one of Ahsoka's blades got destroyed.
Right.
Because as we were saying before earlier in the episode, Jedi very easily lose their fucking sabers.
Shit.
Yeah.
Let me collect that later, because I think Joker Voice earlier in the chat said something about the fucking where are they getting all their kyber crystals? Oh fuck, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that back.
Oh yeah. You fucking pick up the lightsaber afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I need that kyber crystal. Thanks.
Yeah. Or Hu Yang just has a drawer of them. Just
Yeah, like let me wrestle around in here. Let me wrestle around in my fucking.
Yeah. Sabine's fighting style now is actually really cool. And we've seen versions of this before, but it's like she's got one lightsaber, one blaster, and she's like combining both her Jedi and her Mandalorian fighting styles.
It's like using Cal Kestis.
Yeah, she like deflects a bolt with her fucking saber, but then deflects another with her fucking Beskar armor and then fucking shoots. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that fighting style. So,
Yeah. No, it's fine.
yeah. I was actually kind of upset about the whole Morgan Elspeth dying because I really liked her character this season, and it felt like they had just fucking promoted her to fucking Dark Sister of Talzin, and now all of a sudden just done.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, that was a waste.
Yeah, I felt like she wasn't going to live through the season. Honestly,
Well, somebody had to die, I suppose.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been Balin.
Yeah, because reasons.
Yeah. So Ezra gets out of there, and then as fucking Ahsoka and Sabine are fighting the rest of the troopers, Ahsoka's like, oh, you want to get out of here? It's like, sure, I'm right behind you. They go jump off the cliff just in time to land on the fucking newly repaired fucking starfighter.
The Smurfs are apparently really good at fixing shit.
That looks like it hasn't taken a bit of physical damage. Like, no fucking damage anywhere on the front where it fucking crashed or on the wingtips where it fucking smashed into 2 TIE fighters. So it must have some really good shields, I guess, to protect it from physical damage.
Do you remember Ship
Yeah.
from the
books.
Expanded Universe?
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe it has its own. Maybe it's a Force user. Maybe the T6 is a Force user. I'm having deja vu, by the way.
Right.
Maybe the T6 is a Force user, and it's just kind of like it's almost organic, where it just needs some fucking it just needs some energy. Just give me a Yoo-hoo or something, and I'll be all right. Be able to rebend myself out and go fly on.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. There's.
Well, my note is, how the fuck is this ship flyable? That's my thought.
How is it more flyable now than it was when they were fucking putting along fucking 5 feet above the goddamn Smurfs?
Yeah, don't know. But like you said, maybe the Smurfs are like very brilliant when it comes to mechanical.
They're like the Babu race of that galaxy.
Yeah, at least for ships.
Just not their own homes.
Now, one thing I will say, I know I've been bitching a lot about this episode, and rightly so in some cases. But again, as they have been doing a lot lately, the whole episode is like beautifully shot. Like visually, just as impressive as ever. When you see like the Thrawn ship coming out of the clouds and going into orbit, or just anything visual, has all been just spot on for me. Like I love what they've done with all of the visuals in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. They certainly. There's never a point in this where we're watching it going like, that just seems out of place, or that doesn't look right. Yeah. Now that part of it is definitely been spot on.
Yeah.
And the music too. Like,
I
think
the music's been great.
The music's been really good.
Yeah. Because again, it's the guy who did Clone Wars and Rebels. So.
And I really wish, I don't know if maybe it's a licensing thing or whatever it is, but there's been times when I think some really John Williams some episodic score would be appropriate.
Yeah.
And you hear elements of it, but you don't get the full bore of it.
Yeah, he takes real small bits
Right.
of it, but you never get like the full,
Yeah.
force.
It's almost like
theme or
he's
the
hitting
full-
it like this. And this is why we're not using the entire thing, because we don't want to. That's actually John Williams.
Yeah.
That may or may not be a clip from a John Williams thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know why they chose to do it that way, but maybe it's for our sake. Maybe it's their way of telling us, like, look, it's time to move on from John Williams, and this is your guy now. So
There will never be any moving on.
Oh, I know.
So long as there's recordings of John Williams, there will not be moving on.
So here's the thought.
How dare you?
Here's the thought. Sidebar.
How dare you, Jason?
So let's take a hypothetical sidebar, because you know how now with AI they can recreate people's voices with like samples of their voices. They can write books based on samplings of other books, and you like tell them to write this, or they can write scripts, which is why, you know, a big part of the fucking writer strike was about like AI not letting the fucking movie studios write scripts using AI. What's to say that there won't be an AI out there that can just create a John Williams score after you feed it all of his stuff? And it'd be like, create me a new John Williams style score for this movie. What's to say AI won't be able to do that eventually?
It won't be the same.
I don't know.
I don't think it'll be the same. You know why? You even see me on screen? I'm kind of over too far on it.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable right now, though.
that's fine.
Nice.
And comfort is important, especially at this stage in our lives.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when you're listening to something on vinyl, right? And then you're listening to something digitally, and you notice the nuance, you notice the difference
Oh yeah.
in the sound, because you're getting an original recording and something that's remastered or somehow different. You're getting, there's like almost like a different personality to it. And I think AI is going to be really, it's not there yet. You know, listen, we could have a whole conversation about AI, but people have an overinflated idea of what AI is. There's a perspective about AI that's being pushed on people that is completely inaccurate.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can speak to it because it's my field. I can tell you that you're being sold a bill of goods that is inaccurate.
Oh sure.
At the congressional level, they're being sold something that's inaccurate. You know, we are not there yet. But it's not to say that we shouldn't be thinking about it, because there's definitely capability that is there and it's pending, but it's not nearly what it is today. Saying that, it's still going to be like it's not sentience.
No.
Right?
No.
And there's a certain flow that you're just not going to be able to emulate, where a human being, what it comes down to is mistakes. Right? When somebody makes a mistake on something, you can hear it and you can notice it, and you'll move on from it because there's a human element to it.
Right.
It's the imperfection of something that makes it so real. When you're looking at, say, like you're watching the fucking special editions, right? You have these digital editions and you have a level of perfection in this picture or whatever they're trying to display. It stands out because it's trying to display perfection. It's not imperfect.
Right.
As human beings, we're looking for imperfections. Like we're tuned to that. And the idea that something is perfect in image is counterintuitive. And it same thing with your auditory system and everything else. It's not going to ever be to a point, for us anyway, because we know the difference.
Yeah.
Now, generationally, that's going to be a different story, because we're going to generationally adapt to hearing different things. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be any worse or better, but I am saying that there's a difference.
Sure.
And I think that music, if they're taking John Williams and saying, hey, here's all of the notes that John Williams ever wrote, and they're pushing it into AI that says, let's create original score based on all of this, and it comes out with something that sounds fucking amazing and is beautiful, then it'll be worth listening to, but it's not going to be him.
No,
It's
obviously
gonna,
not.
It's going to lack that imperfection. It's going to lack that, hey, he was looking at this thing and making that thing match to this thing based on how he felt about it.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
an AI can't do that. AI is really good at mimicking. It's not good at emoting.
I've seen a lot of like AI drawn pictures where they're like, draw me a picture of Scarlett Johansson in Paris, and it'll kind of be her, but then she'll have like 3 arms, and there's all the little AI mistakes that happens.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's interesting times for sure.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time having to research it as part of my field, and we're going to get to a point in the next decade probably where there'll be a lot of AI making decisions that we're going to be uncomfortable with. But
It's going to be fucking Dr. Strangelove, where they're going to have the fucking the whole nuclear arsenal tied to an AI that's like, if you sense any kind of
they're not
stuff
gonna do
coming
that.
from Russia, then you fucking unleash holy hell.
They're not going to do that.
Let's hope not.
They're not going to do that. People don't
fucking
listen
Skynet.
to Jason.
Skynet's
They're not
coming.
going to do that.
Anyway, getting back to Ahsoka. That was a long sidebar.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I could speak at length on the AI thing.
Yeah. I mentioned the effects. So they're in the jet that's now fully spaceworthy because now they're chasing fucking Thrawn outside of orbit and into space. And Thrawn comes over the fucking intercom and basically gives a little lecture to Ahsoka, which was actually really good.
Right.
Because he's like, oh, it's a shame we never met in person, but I feel like I already know you because I knew your master, Anakin Skywalker, which was a great payoff for those of us that read the original fucking Thrawn trilogy, because that second book had his that 2 stories with him and Anakin and him with Vader.
Yep.
And, Thrawn figured out that Vader was Anakin back in that book. So when he saw that he was her master, when he was doing the research on Ahsoka, he's like, okay.
Yep.
And he even made he made a couple of interesting comments. First, he referred to her as a Ronin, which
was awesome.
yeah.
I love the idea of the Ronin.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love, I've fully engaged in like the idea of a Jedi being the Ronin.
Yeah, like just a lone Jedi, like walking the earth, like King from the Kung Fu.
Right, exactly.
Here's
your lightsaber, and you may not always be using. You're not always in it for good. You're in it for survival, and then things happen the way they happen. But I when I heard that line, I was like, oh, that was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, that was like there was a great payoff for that.
Yep. And he basically said, I wonder how much like your master you were going to end up being, kind of referring to, if she's going to turn to the dark side the way Anakin did.
Yeah, you might as well hear the Imperial March playing in the background.
Yeah. And then he's like, basically, and that's all, peace out. And then boom, they go to light speed, and you get the fucking...
And she's caught in a wake turbulence.
Yeah, that wake turbulence again. I even wrote that in my notes, like that heavy wake turbulence when you're when you're behind an intergalactic space traveler.
The interstellar medium apparently is really disrupted when you're behind a fucking giant starship.
Yeah, it takes a while to recover from that one. Just don't use too much rudder.
Yeah, bad things.
Yeah. So, what do Ahsoka and Sabine do? Well, they go back to the fucking Smurfs for whatever reason.
Because what else are they gonna fucking do?
Right. And they're fucking at the Smurfs. Ahsoka sees the fucking Morai, the little owl there on the planet, and it flies away. That's been following her throughout her whole journey. So that's essentially, to me, saying, she's supposed to be here now for whatever reason.
Right.
And then we finally see Shin and Balin in the last fucking 10 seconds of the goddamn episode, my 2 favorite characters. we get one fucking scene. First, Shin, who looks just like all disheveled. She
Right.
looks fucking pissed.
Shin looks like shit.
Yeah, she looks like ass. Yeah, and she walks up to the fucking nomad camp and she just like fucking raises her lightsaber like, I'm queen of the nomads now.
Right.
And you will follow me. And then we go to Balin, who's on top of the statue of the father from the, the father, son, and daughter, which we
Right.
need to have an episode where we kind of dig deeper into that specifically. But, it's a statue of the father. You see the statue of the son on the right, and then the broken statue of the daughter on the left. And like the father's arm is outstretched and he is essentially pointing in the distance, and you can see in the distance there's a mountain with like a beacon almost kind of like getting brighter and dimmer that fucking Balin's looking at. No context to any of this as to what it means.
Right.
Like, is this the planet where the fucking the Force trifecta originated from? And then you all you see is Balin looking in the distance again.
Right.
No context.
Nope.
Just theories.
Just some music.
Yep. And obviously Balin survived, so they didn't like edit in like Shin coming up from behind him and just woo.
Yeah. Woo!
They could have done that. They could have easily done that. Instead of her going to the fucking nomads, they could have just been him like looking in the distance like, okay, that's where I'm going. That's what's calling to me. And fuck.
Yeah.
And then her just force pushing
Or
him
him
off
just
of the...
standing there and all of a sudden a lightsaber going through his chest and he just goes,
Yeah. They could have easily done that. But nope. Just like they did with fucking Carrie Fisher. They let him live with a big fucking plot thread just hanging right there. No resolution whatsoever.
nope.
So anyway, Thrawn arrives at Dathomir. Like they pull up. It's this great fucking shot too of you see the planet and the ring kind of around it as it's coming in.
Right.
It's like a sweet fucking shot as they're approaching Dathomir. And and then they reveal to Thrawn, we are arrived at Dathomir, and you're like, ooh.
Right.
And then they show the fucking cargo bay.
Right.
And I was watching a video. Somebody actually paused it and counted based on like how many were stacked, how high they were each stacked, and how far across they were stacked, and then how many of the stacks there were.
Of course they did.
Yeah, and it's like 5,500 of those little like fucking coffins.
It's a lot of Night Sisters.
Yeah, and that's what most people are guessing at this point, is that's like a whole fucking population of Night Sisters. They're gonna repopulate Dathomir, and shit's gonna go down. So. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Is it?
I guess. I mean,
Is it?
I don't dislike the whole concept of the Dathomiri and the Night Sisters, and even
Right.
the idea of them coming from another galaxy. That kind of makes sense to me.
So where does this play into the fucking our timelines though?
Well, as far as what? Because obviously we know this takes place like 5 years after Jedi.
Right.
And of course, in none of the books that we've read so far that take place afterwards ever mention Thrawn, Night Sisters, any of that.
Dathomir,
Yeah.
any of that.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they maintain continuity in this story without fucking up shit that's already come out in the current canon. I don't know.
It's kind of a big thing. And this is where when he showed up in Dathomir, that's where I was like, okay, it'd be cool if it wasn't in this timeline.
Sure.
So,
But we know it is.
do we?
Well, yeah, because like Luna Girl said in the chat, and we talked about it last episode, is that we know it's in the Mando universe, the Mando timeline, because they reference Moff Gideon and what happened on Mando.
No, I agree it's in this timeline, but is it in this same timeline in their time space?
Like, are you talking like fucking relativity and
Yeah. Like, are we at... So how do we deconflict right now with the fact that even though Dathomir and where it is in the galaxy, like it's in the outer reaches, right? So it's a good amount away from the core planets.
right? And as far as everybody knows, it's just like a wasteland at this point, because the Empire, like they did with many planets, they fucking, once they were done with needing them, they just fucking shit canned the whole thing.
Right. My issue is that's a huge fucking thing to have not have had happen in Aftermath the Aftermath books and like
Technically, the Aftermath books were all before this, though, because the Aftermath books were like, zero
Immediately
to
after.
like
That's
1
true.
year after Jedi.
I don't know. I just like
I'm more thinking like things like the Leia book, the Bloodline book. You'd think she would have mentioned something about this in that, or even in the Luke and Lando book. I don't know. It just
to me there's too much dicking around with the fucking it's breaching that fucking that current canon timeline.
Yeah.
And if you go back to the fucking to the Perdia or whatever the fucking name of the planet is.
Yeah.
And you got Ahsoka and you got Ray Stevenson and why can't I think of his fucking character's name right now? God damn it. Balin.
Yeah.
You got all them fucking just hanging out on this fucking planet. I don't like it left me in a point where not like, hey, I'm excited to see where this next season goes.
Mhm.
It left me in a point where like I feel like that you've just pissed in my Cheerios a little bit. And now I'm waiting to see if you're putting milk in it.
And you know what? That's kind of the feeling that I had after, especially watching it the first time, because you got to think about it. Like, Ray Stevenson's dead. The actor strike is still going on.
The actors is, yes.
We have no confirmation they're even going to do an Ahsoka season 2. Like, if you listen to some people, like, I guess the ratings, quote unquote, for Ahsoka have not been good. So it's like this season felt like nothing but a buildup and just kind of like a holdover for the next season. It feels like we're building up to something big that's going to happen later.
Yeah. And like the whole thing with Ezra coming back to the fucking rebellion.
Yeah.
With his fucking story. Like, I feel like we just sprinkled some fucking shit into things that are like, now we're going to have to create and sidestep some fucking shit to make sure that we're not dicking around too much with some other stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not saying that to shit on the fucking series. Overall, I was entertained with Ahsoka.
Of course.
But here at the end is when I really went like, man, I really wish they hadn't brought it all the way back to fucking the galaxy yet.
Yeah.
I wish they could have fucking watched him go into fucking hyperspace and left it at that. And then if you're going to do another season to see where he fucking went, then so be it. If not, leave him fucking traveling in hyperspace and then
figure
whatever.
it out. Yeah.
But and it could have left the Ezra part of it open-ended, like
sure.
And you had in this other galaxy, the other fucking clowns figure shit out and start exploring that other galaxy. Like they can live a whole different fucking life and time frame.
Oh yeah.
As a Ronin or anything else, and not affect anything the fuck else, because guess what? We don't have any reason to bring them back to the other galaxy.
No, because we know what happens in the future of the current galaxy.
Right.
We've already seen years into the future with the First Order and Rey and all of that.
Yes.
No, I 100% agree. And I feel like, this season of Ahsoka was like a really good gymnastics routine, right? You had some great fucking moments where she just was fucking on and she's doing all of her stuff. Some of the things she was doing was just set up for another big leap. And then she goes for the landing and fucking breaks her ankle on the landing and just fucking stumbles. It doesn't take away anything from what happened before, but you didn't finish it off very good.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about this episode. Like when Ezra comes back, when he fucking goes with the fleet and keeps a whole fucking stormtrooper outfit on as he's walking down the ramp.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like,
and then when he finally takes it off and allegedly has this emotional reunion with Hera, I didn't feel anything when I saw that. I'm just like, okay. And, we watched all of Rebels, so it's not like we didn't see all of Rebels and we weren't invested in it. But this reunion that was supposed to be so emotional between him and Hera, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
it's almost like they rushed the end of this.
It does feel like that.
Maybe they had again, spitballing here, right? We're making excuses for it because we're, again, not shitting on the fucking series entirely, but
No.
I think they shortchanged it at the end. Like,
Yeah.
either because they had to shorten the season for some reason, or maybe it just, whatever, for reasons.
Oh, I'm sure they were under a lot of pressure, too, to get it done and get it in the bag so that Disney could get it out on Disney Plus as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm sure there was a ton of corporate pressure on this.
But it's, yeah, like I said, I honestly, they don't need to have a fucking season 2. In my estimation, now it'll suck because now you've just fucking thrown Thrawn into fucking this galaxy.
Yeah.
And now you've left him unattended to do whatever and then not readdress it some sort of way.
Yeah. Well, you know what they should do at this point? In my opinion, they should just, instead of now doing like more seasons of Mando, more seasons of Ahsoka, whatever, they just do a single season now, or a single series that like ties all this stuff together, kind of like the way the movie is going to do. Or they just do the fucking movie, you know?
Why do a movie?
Well, that's already been announced.
I know,
the
but-
Filoni movie that's
they've-
supposed to tie it
yeah,
up.
but they've
all-
announced like fucking 18 movies that
Right.
don't fucking happen. I don't believe a fucking word that comes out about movies or anything else
Yeah.
because it's so easily reneged.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. It's one of those things that I don't believe until they fucking give me a trailer and
True.
a poster.
Yeah, and I'm kind of that way too. But I don't know. Like, I feel
Once
like they
bitten, twice shy.
Yeah, they need to just make like a Mandoverse show, a show that's like about all the characters in the Mandoverse at this period of time, and it can follow like what happens with Thrawn, how Ahsoka and Sabine get back, how do the Mandalorians tie into it with fucking Mando and Grogu and fucking what's her nuts, Bo-Katan.
Well, and what sucks is I have less. I feel like I'm less invested in what happens in the Mandoverse now than
Because
I
of
was
this, huh?
because of this.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not saying I won't watch it again from entertainment perspective, but I feel like from an impact perspective, I'm watching this for entertainment, not for what impact it's going to make on the canon,
Sure.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as a Star Wars fan and as basically people that make it their business to talk about Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
More often than not. I think that this has really been okay. I was entertained. You are trying to get me to buy into this plot device that's going to advance this story somehow, but I feel like it's creeping into almost a Marvel level of like, what are we getting ourselves into? Like, what else are you going to pull into this?
Yeah.
Are you pulling like when you pull the Mandoverse into this? Like, are you going to pull Boba Fett into it too? Or are you going to see Black Kyrgyzstan show up and fucking fighting the witches in Dathomir?
You might.
Like, I would fucking vomit.
Really?
Yeah,
You do not want to see that at all.
I do not want to see that. I like, why? Why? I don't. It doesn't. Again, I conceptually can understand that there's things that can happen in the galaxy that are happening outside of everything else that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you've deliberately involved things that are involved in this other part of the galaxy. Like when Mando started, it had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
Now you've deliberately made Mando involved in the fucking Skywalker canon.
Yeah, because he's interacted with Luke himself.
Yes, directly.
Yeah.
And now we have fucking Mothra and fucking you're up to your fucking gills in the goddamn canon now.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You can't, like, everything you do in the Mandoverse now has an effect in the fucking canon. And
Right.
as somebody who's now watching it for, like, if you're trying to further the canon in this Skywalker era, like, I want to see it furthered and expanded to the point where make it all make sense, right?
I'd like to think that's their plan.
But to what end? Like, make this make sense.
Yeah.
Don't make tomorrow make sense. Make now make sense.
Sure.
Don't make fucking October, when this episode came out, don't make us all sit here and go like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
Like, oh, don't worry. In 3 years, when we can make another fucking season, it'll all make sense then.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I was really disappointed with this specific ending, because of the fact that we know that even if we do get another season of Ahsoka, it's not going to be for years.
Yeah.
Because the fucking actor strike is still going on. Even though they settle with the writers, the actor strike is still going on. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take them a couple years to make the fucking thing. They've got other shit in the queue already.
And honestly, like, this isn't a TV show over a movie type issue. This is what this content is. Like, I love going to the movies to see Star Wars. That isn't the issue at all. It's just, if you're going to do this in a movie, you're going to have to clean it all up.
Yeah.
You can't, unless, are you going to have 3 movies? Or if you're going to have one movie to solve it all. Like, don't fall into this fucking trap that you fell in with Marvel, where now you're creating worlds to fucking continue on this one plot line.
Yeah.
That you it's not this self-licking ice cream cone that's going to keep and sustain itself. It's at some point you got to go like, and look, in Filoni we trust, right? And again, there's got to be something bigger that are just missing. Right?
Well, yeah, and again, that's why I said this all felt like setup. This feels like it's some other big thing that he's building up to, but that still left me feeling very empty when this was over. It's like, oh, great, I'm sure, I'm glad you've got a big fucking plan, but fuck me, what does that leave me with right now?
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Now.
And between like Ray Stevenson dying and everything, I
agree with what's going on in that chat. We're talking about like doing some animation where you could still have Ray Stevenson's character like have some relevance in like animation and stuff like that.
I guess.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. I mean, and we've seen novelizations and things like that where characters can live on,
right?
And things like that. Like, so the character doesn't necessarily have to be dead. Sadly, we're just not going to see him like we saw him presented in this.
Yeah, and especially because he was one of the best new Star Wars characters we've had in a long time.
Yeah, and we, sadly, the world is deprived of his presence. Obviously, it's tragic, but it was also like he was developing a character in a way that I think would have blossomed into something that was very, very unique and good for what it was supposed to be for his character. And
and again, it sucks. There's nothing you can do about that. Kind of out of our control, but it still leaves me feeling just kind of very unsatisfied with this
and it's
with this episode.
Look, we're a victim of our own good fortune right now, because we get so much Star Wars content. Yeah. And in this overall, just visually, we're not losing anything by watching this on television. Right?
No.
This is all movie quality stuff. Now, the plot and things like that, you're probably like putting something into a movie that you're getting. Obviously, movies are built differently. Yeah. When it's being written differently than a TV show.
Of course.
So there's obviously there's huge variations to what we would see in a movie. Yeah. But aesthetically, I think we're not losing anything.
No. Visually, it's movie quality shit.
I'd rather see all of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of Disney Plus and put all of it in a movie theater. I'd pay to go watch it.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people would. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. And that's the other thing that's fucking pissing me off too, is there's been zero communication from fucking Lucasfilm since this stopped either.
There's not going to be. Like, I don't think anybody knows what the fuck they're going to do. Yeah. Honestly, because nobody knows when they're going to come off strike. Then they have to fucking figure out how they're going to restart shit, what they're going to restart, because
there were projects that they were in the middle of that they have to finish first. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they do, but if they don't make another fucking season of Andor, I'm going to go down there with flaming pitchforks
Well, we know that they are because they were in the middle of making it when the strike happened. So,
All I'm saying is that flaming pitchforks.
yeah.
There will be flaming pitchforks.
Yep.
If Andor doesn't continue.
Yeah. Now,
That has been the best thing to come out of all of this in a long time.
yeah. But I mean, the first 2 seasons of Mando were pretty fucking good too.
were
But
good.
they were different.
They were good, but it was not like it wasn't edge of your seat like fucking Andor ended up being.
Yeah.
Like it was entertaining. It was entertaining television,
Mm.
but it wasn't fucking like
Yeah.
what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
You know?
And again, I don't want people to think that we're shitting on Ahsoka as a whole because,
No.
like, especially I mentioned this before. Episode 4 of this season is one of my absolute favorite pieces of Star Wars content ever. Like, even compared to some movies. Like, I've rewatched episode 4 many, many times. And I know a lot of people liked episode 5. 5 was the one where she had the flashbacks to the Clone Wars and was young Ahsoka and all that. I know people fucking loved that episode.
Yeah,
It was
I really
really
enjoyed
good.
that episode.
So yeah, again, not that we're shitting on this, but I just feel like this particular episode, this finale, left a lot to be desired. And just, it just didn't hit right.
Yeah.
And you stack that on top of these things that are out of our control, these outside things like Ray Stevenson dying and the fucking actor strike. It all kind of combines to just make for a very disappointing finale,
Right.
in my opinion.
And you know what? I think we're gonna rewatch this later, and if we rewatch it later with some additional information, and I think everything will probably fall into place a little bit better, and we'll have a different perspective.
Sure.
But right now, it's kind of that like the wound is open, and
Yeah.
it's still fucking seeping out
Yeah.
a little bit.
And this is also no like Last Jedi reaction either. This
No,
is
no.
Like I don't feel like I felt after the Last Jedi after watching this, but I just I am a little disappointed by this episode.
Yeah, just this episode. But for the entire season, though, I would. It's must watch if you're
Oh yeah,
a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, this is must see TV.
Honestly, because like from the beginning, this was a Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, by the way.
Wu-Tang.
This was kind of all right, here we are. This is a continuation of Rebels or Clone Wars, however you want to slice it.
Mm-hmm.
It had that feeling from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
It had like, okay, we're rolling right in from an episode and this is now real life of what we watched in the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that really well. And there was, to some people's points in the fucking chat, there was a lot of fan service here, and
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. I'm all about the fan service.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the series as a whole overall. I would say at the end when you were building me up for something, and I just was left a little wanting for how the ending went. You could say that with so many shows. I mean,
True.
honestly, so many fucking shows. So
My penis so smooth.
so smear. But yeah, overall, I thought the season was good. I'll definitely watch the whole season again.
Oh, I'm sure I will too. Yeah.
Just I'll take it in chunks, but I'll definitely watch the whole thing again, and if for nothing else, because look, I think Rosario Dawson did a bang up job.
Yeah.
I think Ray Stevenson was portrayed one of the best performances of a character in Star Wars that we've seen
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just something to be remembered that, like, yes, this kind of stoic, this fallen Jedi that has something else. There's something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
I love that something else. That's the part I wanted to see, and then the fact that we didn't get that, I think, is what moves my needle more towards the side,
Yeah.
than the woo side.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely right there.
Yep. We didn't mention seeing Anakin's Force Ghost at the end.
Don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people again got emotional about it. It's like, okay, no, that's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do feel like Ahsoka saw him. Like the first
Yeah.
time I watched it, I wasn't sure if they'd actually seen him, if he just appeared after they started walking away. But there's this one little part where Ahsoka kind of nods right before she turns and walks away, and we see the ghost.
I feel like she saw him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sabine felt something.
Yeah, she felt something, but she didn't see him.
Right.
And then Ahsoka looked, and she was able to see him.
Yeah. I think that there's some prescience to the fucking Ronin comment for Thrawn, and Sabine and Ahsoka, their battles and their story, I think, should be told. Give me some Ronin style fucking adventuring. And go find other cities and you know,
figure out a way off the planet and how to get to another planet in this galaxy.
Get to another planet. Fucking figure out where Balin and fucking Shin are off to, or what is Shin doing? Like, where's she trying to get to? Like, and track them. They don't have to. At this point, Thrawn's not their problem.
Yeah,
like that's like unless they're gonna hitch a ride with space whales again, which I'm pretty sure they're coming there to die. So
yeah,
that's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
but whatever. That ship has sailed. So I would read 15 times a book written like they wrote Ronin about Ahsoka and Sabine basically working in that other galaxy.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that at least a little bit, no matter what it be it the next season of the show or something. We are going to see them and their adventures in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much it. Again, I don't want you to think that I'm shitting on the whole season.
No.
It's just I didn't like the way they did the finale.
Yeah, I'm not super into the finale either, but I was overall happy with the whole season.
Yep. And now we have no fucking idea when we're getting any more content. Again, I think they're holding on to Skeleton Crew until they know what the fuck's going on with the actor strike, because they're probably going to have to push it to next year at this point, because there's still no resolution to that, and they don't have anything else in the can.
I will believe, like I said, I'm going to need a trailer. I'm going to need a poster.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a hand job, something to tell me that this shit's coming.
All right.
Otherwise,
I'll call Kathleen Kennedy, tell her to get on it.
It's so smooth.
All right. So before we go into the reads and everything, I just want to check and see if it's Tom Brokaw today, or if if we actually got some fucking reviews.
this just in. I think Brokaw's going to do it regardless.
Yeah. Well, there's no new reviews, so another week of no J-Lo. So.
Today on ATSW Family Happenings, I got a new button. No, one more time. Yep, I really love it. ATSW Family Happenings. I'm Tom Brokaw. The Used and Abused podcast has taken an indefinite hiatus as of this past week.
Oh, no shit.
We want to wish them all the luck and let them know that we will be there, if and when they decide to return. In the meantime, they have a solid back catalog of shows, both on audio and on YouTube, for your listening and viewing pleasure. Snooch, Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy, these are real names. I'm Tom Brokaw. Are free ballin', and we'll be reviewing Loki Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2 on Wednesday, eventually. Don't miss ATSW The Escape Pod at 19:05, 7:05 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. The live chat is where it's at. I'm Tom Brokaw. This Saturday, Snooch and LG will reviewed the Stranger Things Season 3 finale, The Battle of Starcourt. I'm Tom Brokaw. Join them on their first watch journey at Stranger Things Has Happened at 2100, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Is Tom Brokaw still alive?
Oh, that's a good question. I swear to God, I thought he was dead.
I'm curious if he's still alive, Because reasons. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Apparently, he's still alive.
I'm still alive.
He's 83.
This just in. I'm still alive. I'm Tom Brokaw. Layman's terms, really, you had something?
Well, he is.
Dad?
I think he's retired, but
This just in. Apparently, I'm retired. I'm Tom Brokaw. Layman's terms, really, is I'm watching Night of Living Dead. And happy Friday the 13th this past week.
oh, that's right.
Give a sub to Layman's Terms on YouTube for your primary source of ignorance and drunken banter. On YouTube. I'm Tom Brokaw. No news from Swede Studios or Frogmore Art. Swede and Wally were having too much fun attending concerts. Also, no news from the Orange and Fett Show. If you're in the chat and you have something to add to that, let us know. I'm Tom Brokaw. You can find us. This may be a record for as many times as a drop has been used.
I don't know. Dave Dave went pretty crazy when he first got access.
This is true.
My penis so smooth.
You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcasts on Audible, Spotify, Apple, and all social media platforms, including X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. These are all real things. I'm Tom Brokaw. Once you get the bio link, simply click on the symbols under our pic to go to your platform of choice. You can also find our post correction. You can also find our past Spotify music mixtape playlists. I'm Tom Brokaw. It's so much fun to listen to the sound. You wonder if he's heard it enough where he just like it wakes it up. That's his alarm, and so he's like napping at the news desk, and it's like, I'm good morning. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Maybe.
And here's also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop.
You know, some people live and breathe work, so maybe he does. Maybe that is his alarm.
It probably is. I'm gonna have a scotch and go to our TeePublic merch shop where we have our Jason Rose design, the super sexy Twi'lek sidebar chick, whatever that is, our beloved Hennifer design. F cancer written in Arabesh. Yeah, fuck cancer. My good friend Jimmy Buffett passed recently. I'm Tom Brokaw. And a couple of From a Gen X point of view throwbacks. There are t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, and pins. Was Tom Brokaw one of them that had the room where he would lock people in it and tell them to take their clothes off?
No, I don't think he was.
Or was that Matt Lauer?
Did any of these newscasters do that?
Oh yeah, they absolutely did. Walter Cronkite had a sex dungeon underneath the studio.
I had no idea.
I'm Tom Brokaw.
Or are you just making that shit up?
I just made that up.
Okay.
Walter Cronkite sex dungeon.
That's good.
This just in. Walter Cronkite had a sex dungeon. I can't even.
Oh, God.
There are t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers and pins, wall art, magnets, notebook, laptop cases, pillows, just about anything you can imagine. Make sure you tag us on the socials with your Sidebar merch.
We already established there are, ladies and gentlemen, there are no new reviews.
Nope.
Which is why the beloved Jennifer Lopez has not made an appearance.
Yep, and she won't.
She is on strike
until we get more reviews.
Until there's more reviews. So, if you would like to hear the beloved Jennifer Lopez and not have her giving handies out on the road so that she can make her living, then you should really leave a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. If you don't have an Apple or Audible account, our Facebook page has a review feature too.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine Walter Cronkite with a Facebook page?
No. And that's that.
Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM us the Instagram or Twitter pic. I'm Tom Brokaw. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on the show, Jason, or the beloved Jennifer Lopez, or Hank, or Edith, or Mama, or me. I'm Tom Brokaw. Or somebody fun. We'll read your review word for word on our next episode. I swear, Tom Brokaw sounds like he could be in the middle of a shit or just on a bender, or maybe both.
Yeah. I can see how they're interlinked.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't heard Tom Brokaw's voice in years, and I'm doing this completely based on old data.
Yeah.
So it may not sound like him at all. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Yeah, and you're the Tom Brokaw of the Sidebar Cantina.
Right, that's
just like she's the Jennifer Lopez of the Sidebar Cantina.
This just in, I'm not Tom Brokaw. If you are listening to us on audio, please consider consider joining us in the live chat on
God,
Mondays.
You're still doing the reads? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
it's drunk Tom Brokaw is a little bit slower.
Obviously.
The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you're new to the Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. And that's all we're going to do for today.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom. It's always a pleasure.
I'm not Tom Brokaw. Signing off from the sex dungeon.
All right. Well, that's the show. So next week, we may not have a show. There is a chance that I have to travel for work. I will know for sure tomorrow. If we do have a show next week, it's going to be Kill Bill Volume 1. If we don't, then our next episode will be our October 30th episode, where we are talking about 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Yes. So regardless, watch both of those movies in preparation.
Yes, because
for said shows.
Yeah, because if we don't do Kill Bill next week, we'll be doing it in 3 weeks.
3 weeks later.
Yes. The night time is the right time. So, but that's it. Thank you everybody for sticking with us with the adjusted time and everything. Stay tuned.
Somebody has a National League Championship Series to watch.
Yes. So Dave has got to go catch his Phillies game.
This just in. The Phillies are still in playoff baseball.
I should not have made that drop for you. I'm regretting everything.
That's the best.
So, but yeah, if you're into mukbang, stick around. We're gonna do a quick 2-minute after show where we eat a cupcake. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. So, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to all of our audio listeners. Thank you to everybody who tunes in on the YouTube every single week. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Okay, now what do I click?
All right.
That's what I click.
Yep. So, all right, you want to get that started while I tell the people about what we're doing here? So, There's a local diner that did a bunch of Philadelphia cupcakes. They did like a Phillies with a baseball, and Eagles with a big eagle on it, and then they also did this guy, the Philly Fanatic, as a
The
cupcake.
best mascot in professional sports.
Yeah, my dad and I were actually talking about that when I was in California, and he's like, "Yeah, the Philly Fanatic is probably one of the best, most iconic sports mascots ever."
Goddamn right it is.
So, but yeah, these cupcakes are fucking incredible. We ate 2 before the show, or I ate 1 before the show, and
Right.
Dave,
I just ate the icing.
yeah, he only ate the non-gluten part.
Right.
So we're gonna cut this guy in half, and we're gonna eat it.
This just in. The Philly Fanatic was sliced in half this evening.
Oh god. Oop.
Oh dear. Oh, the humanity. Oh dear God.
All right, well that one's yours. So there you go. Oh, it's frosting so good. Put crack in it or something. Yeah, it's good shit. I fucking love this Malgus. So I'm out of display space again with the Black Series. So,
Surprising no one.
nope. But I have thought of a couple of ideas to maximize some space. So I'll play with it this week. Maybe I'll have a new setup by next week. Because now I've got a bunch of loose ones
My penis so smooth.
that I haven't been able to display because I'm out of space. So
You would
we'll
think
see.
it wouldn't be as messy just eating the icing.
Yeah,
I think it's just me. I'm just messy.
could be. Oh, it's so good. Cupcake.
This just in. That was a good cupcake. At least the icing part of it. I can't speak to the other part.
Nope.
There is a gluten-free place that opened up near Kathy's work. Actually had good stuff. They had a carrot cake. It was really good.
See, I despise carrot cake.
Why?
So I hate it. I hate the way it tastes. I hate the fucking cream cheese frosting. I hate all of it. Carrot cake is shit.
I like carrot cake.
It really is like someone shit in my mouth.
Really? That's good. Whenever there's carrot cake, Dave will eat it.
All right. Well, then I'll always
As long as
notice-
it's gluten-free at this point. 'cause-
Right.
Because reasons.
I accidentally got some frosting on Malgus's cloak.
Son of a bitch. Malgus will come and get you.
Yep. So anyway, I think this is where we sign off. So thanks everybody for sticking around. Hope you like the mukbang. And Kelly, if you're still there, I'll reach out to you as soon as I know about my travel tomorrow and whether or not we're doing a show next week. And we'll make posts on social media so everybody else is aware.
What?
All right. Good night, everybody. Go Phillies.
Go Phils.
I actually watched one of their games while I was in California.
What?
Yeah.